I think it is time to begin. Hello and welcome to today's stream. I'm Professor Bodhi, aka Mr. Bonny John. Thank you so much for joining me today. We got our A+ students who have sat down in class first, so thank you to all of you who have joined. That's Savi, Mackenzie is here, Sketch is here, and so is Chill Bill. I love that name. Guys, thank you for hanging out with me today. We got a crocodile. I don't know why I put on an Australian accent. I kind of do know why, let's be honest. But we have a croc on the docket today. I'm sorry for that pun, or not if you liked it. Crocodile, in particular, a gharial. I was going to put gharial in the thumbnail, but I realized not everyone knows what a gharial is. And a gharial, in particular, is a kind of crocodile. In specific, I'm going to pull up a photo that I have here that will essentially immediately tell you what we're dealing with. Welcome in, Rec. Here is a gharial. Look at how cool this guy looks. He's got a very thin snout, a ton of spindly little teeth. Down, down, under, exactly there. Welcome in, Jello. So, from this angle, we can see, of course, its long snout, right? But it's this thin kind of snout. Look at what this freak of nature, and I say that with love, this is what we're actually dealing with. He's kind of goofy looking otherwise, right? But something that I want to do with my monster tamer POTEMPO is provide designs for creatures that we haven't entirely seen in Pokemon, for better or for worse. Now, you can say crocodile. They've also got like this very long kind of snout. I don't want to say it's not a gharial, but you know, I'm going to really lean into the specific shape. So excited to be here. I'm glad to have you. Thank you for joining us today. It looks like a bottle. Worm on string is also another way. His nose got stuck in a vacuum. Exactly. And I will quickly go over the gharial as far as our homie Wikipedia is going to educate me. So let's get into it, chat. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Feel free to leave in the chat what you did today, how today went for you. I hope it was a nice day. So, the gharial, Gavialis gangeticus, also known as gavial or fish-eating crocodile, is a crocodilian in the family Gavial, and among the longest of all living crocodilians. Okay. Mature females are 8 feet 6 inches to 14 feet 9 inches long, and males can get up to 9 foot 10 to 19 foot 18 inches. Jesus Christ. Adult males have a distinctive boss at the end of the snout, which resemble an earthenware pot known as a gada. Hence the name Gadia. So the gada is Indian pottery. An earthen pot made in the Indian subcontinent, used for storing drinking water and keeping it cool. Which, if I were to... Music is loud? Let me fix that for you. Sorry about that. Gotcha, that should be a lot better. Sorry about that, chat. Let me know if that's a little better. Hopefully a lot better. Jams are too sick? Okay, here, sorry about that. Overpowering me? Good gravy. Without the arm and legs, it would have the silhouette of a narwhal. Exactly right. Tell me, chat, is that a little better? Have you guys been able to hear anything I've said? It should be a lot better. Once I get that confirmation, I'll continue reading our research for the day. I'll, in fact, start over quickly. Yes? Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know. Not really? Huh. Let me see if I can lower it a little bit. I'm gonna bring down the audio just a little bit more. Alright, let's see. That should be better. It is better. I can hear your Wikipedia monologue. Gotcha. Okay, but it's better now. So I will quickly go over again the GHARIAL, and obviously I do this at the start of most of my POTEMPO streams because it's important to know what we're going to be drawing today. We'll also go over yesterday's design, and in general I think I'm going to work on a lot of my 2-stage lines for my game concept, because obviously the 3-stage lines are really badass, really cool. I made a few more adjustments today as far as the decks. I knocked down a few lines from being 3-stage to 2. I think the original Pokemon game had like maybe 13 to 18, I want to say, 3-stage lines. Mine, with the same number, 150, I was nearly at like 30 3-stage lines. And so having creatures like this who kind of, I don't want to say are filler, but in a way many of those Pokemon or POTEMPO or Digimon, well, with Digimon I guess they all go to 4 theoretically, but you need to have filler so as the 3 stages can feel a little more extravagant, right? So I'm going to start again. The GHARIAL, also known as the gavial or the fish-eating crocodile, is a crocodilian in the family Gavialidae, and among the longest of all living crocodilians. Adult males have a distinct boss at the end of the snout which resemble an earthenware pot known as a gara, hence the name GHARIAL. The GHARIAL is well adapted to catching fish because of its long, narrow snout and 110 sharp interlocking teeth. Jesus, that's a lot of teeth. So here is a look at the pot. You'll see these pots in India. Let's go ahead, hit that. There you go. That's the pot. And so it's got its name because this is what kind of adorns it at the end. Now, if this were a Pokemon, I could, make it a water type and then maybe incorporate this pot. And hey, you know what? I might still have a lot of time between, obviously publishing whatever this is. And in fact, forget even publish. Getting around to my second, pass for these designs. Hello, Dingus, welcome in. So here is a male, and here's that Gata pot at the end of his snout, which is crazy. Me too, Sketch. I think it'll be very simple. I'm going to be doing a lot of designs now, like yesterday. If I make every design be this really crazy, every design goes to 3 stages, then no one's gonna feel special, right? So this GHARIAL will be definitely Chinese finger trap. Exactly. Do not put your fingers anywhere near this guy. Look at the teeth on this. So he'll be a far more simpler design. He will still look cool. I want to make fun and cool designs, right? And obviously want to make fun and cute designs. This guy, I think, will live in a nice balance of both. Do not boop this snoot. Exactly. So the GHARIAL probably evolved in the northern Indian subcontinent. Fossil GHARIAL remains were excavated in the Pliocene deposits in the Sivalak Hills and the Narmada River Valley. Currently inhabits rivers and the plains of the north part of the Indian subcontinent. Adults mate at the end of the cold season. They lay 20 to 95 eggs, the females that is. They guard the nest and the young, which hatch before the onset of the monsoon. Drastically, their population has decreased into the 1930s. Oh my god, critically endangered. Come on, we got to get these numbers up. As I said before, the name GHARIAL is derived from the Hindustani word gara for an earthen pot, in reference to the nasal protuberance on the male's snout. It's also called the gavial. So, okay. Obviously, it's pretty straightforward. It's a very unique looking creature. I don't think I really need to... Hello, Cade. Welcome in. I don't think I really need to do anything really crazy for this design. I'm just gonna mostly keep it simple, but if you guys know of any cool... chat, you guys are usually my researchers. Oh, look at this. These guys look, you can see at a distance how their snout in comparison to their bodies. So yeah, when these guys, they probably, you know, when they grab their fish versus like an alligator, right? It's got all this space to just catch and hold something. They're probably like skewering fish on all their teeth in that small, thin, you know, clam trap, right? So yeah, this will be a 2-stage line, chat. I don't think I need to make it anything crazy. I will say I do want to probably start leaning the design a little bit into this entity called Makara. And who is Makara, you might wonder? Right here, this is Makara. Well, this is a, looks like a fountain's like end, or maybe like an end cap, you know? Makara, so if basically if a GHARIAL is this Indian crocodile, Makara, right, is a mount. Legendary sea creature in Hindu mythology, the equivalent to the zodiac sign Capricorn. It appears the Vahana, or the vehicle of the river goddess Ganga, right? Narmada, and the god of the ocean Varuna. Makara are considered guardians of gateways and thresholds, protecting throne rooms as well as entryways to temples. Also appears frequently as a gargoyle or spout attached to a natural spring. So the cool thing is, right, the sea word, or rather Makara is a Sanskrit word, which means sea animal crocodile. So a lot of times in the depiction, you see them like this crocodile kind of thing. Sometimes it's got elephant features, including a tusk, right? So here I'm seeing in the Sinhalese ancient artwork, you see elements of the trunk of an elephant, jaws of the crocodile, ears of the mouse or ape, extruding teeth of wild swine, aka tusks, the tail plume of the peacock, and a feel of a lion. I want to put my hand in it, please don't. Just La Peace, hello, their jaws kind of look like zippers, very true. Critically injured, you hate to hear it, awful, right? A snout sticking out of the totem head would be hilarious, adorable. I think, so that's a good point. I think what I'm going to do for this first one is, do I make a baby alligator that becomes a big alligator? I haven't quite done that. Early on, I noticed I was doing a lot more jumps. Yesterday was a fun one when I turned a pigeon into one side became a plague rat and the other side became a plague doctor. So I'm going to show you some more Makara, and then we're going to get started on illustration, chat. Here's another one, so you can kind of see the tusk here. I like this idea of the snout rolled up like the elephant tusk, so I think that'll really work. Exactly right, Chill. I think that's going to do. Exactly, another kind of chimera. Many Indian mythos has a lot of chimera. So it could be like, maybe it's a baby elephant as the first stage, and then it becomes a Makara or a GHARIAL crocodile. I like being able to kind of switch things up a little bit. Although I do have a 3-stage elephant that's going to be coming up very soon, chat. Yeah, look at these, chat. I'm going to show you these for inspiration. And we'll be good to go. I'm excited for this one. This one's going to be really cool. I think what I want to do... Woo! These guys look awesome. These are probably from Thailand. Batonfun. Oh, actually, that could be Vietnamese. Let's see. So here's another depiction. I'll probably stick to more Indian style, but this is from Bhaktapur Nagapukari. Go ahead, put this up on screen for you guys. This one's cool. This one's got a goat. Look at these wild teeth. And then you got the snout, you got the horn. There's a mouse here. This is beautiful. Can you imagine? So sick. All right. And then here's this really cute Celadon glazed pottery. Makara dragonfish, you are from the Liao dynasty. As we know, a lot of Japanese and Chinese concepts, especially seen in Buddhism, originated from India. There we go. So that might be a fun thing to incorporate as well. Okay, so let's get started. We got a bunch of things to work with. I'll Close you, I'll move you, move you. I can keep this crocodile down here. Did I put the picture on Discord? I have no idea. Maybe you did. Putting my hand in that. Secret treasure in the mouth? Hell yeah. Imagine those party favors you blow into and they unfurl. That's the vibe I get from this pretty much. My hands are prosthetic anyways. I won't lose them. I'm putting my nephew. Let's not put your nephew in there. So here's all of our reference chat. Time to get to work. I'm going to... What do we think? Do we want to make... Now... There is a world where, let me show you this actually. I lied, I'm not going to start because there is one more creature that I'm going to be doing. Maybe we can work on this today. Chat, look at this. The Ganges River Dolphin. Honestly, chat, I might make this a split Evo. So, look at its snout. It's very much similar to the gharial crocodile. So I could see myself maybe turn this into a 3-stage, which I know I was literally just saying earlier. And this is where evolution is very much visible in our real world, right? These guys are both Indian animals. Look at the way their snouts and jaws work. Same kind of interlocking teeth, extended nose or snout, I should say. I was planning on putting this as a secondary. You know what? I might make them... No, so these aren't Pokemon. These are POTEMPO from my own original concept. So I don't have those kind of formal types. Instead I have something called domains. But that hasn't really been influential in the nature of their designs. I think, you know what? I might actually keep them separate. Despite the fact that they look similar, I like the idea of having a separate 2-stage dolphin and croc. And maybe the idea is that the real world element is that they are creatures who just live in the same niche. What's up, musical boy? Welcome in. Hope you've been well as well. I like its eyes too. I like the long snout is prevalent, but it also has very prominent eyes. Nice observation. Okay, so you know what, chat? I might be able to work on both of these designs today. I think that's what I can do. I'll go ahead and put the gharial dolphins on the side, and then I'll put the Ganges dolphin on the side as well. Yeah, in a way. Well, hello, Dracon. Welcome in. You haven't missed much, except your professor has done our lecture for today. Another critical endangered beastie. Come on, India, get yourself together. Your prodigal... Look, I'm trying to be India's prodigal son, okay? If I can make POTEMPO big, and I'm basing many of my creatures on Indian animals, many of the concepts is very spiritual. You know, chat, you guys probably saw, of course, Riger this past week. And then if you're a fan from a long time ago, when you first may have heard of me, that was on Ron's channel, where I first teased Riger next to Kintorai. And at that time, way back when, chat, I thought, I'm going to make an India region. But I realized, no, I don't want to spend all my time making Pokemon content. And yes, I'll make Pokemon content for you guys. I still love Pokemon. But at the end of the day, I want to create something for my legacy. Right? I don't want to die and be known as a Poketuber. I want to be long gone, and people might remember me for POTEMPO and other artwork, the Deva Boy brand, and all that kind of fun stuff. So, oh, I love that so much, Savvy. I think you're right. Maybe they could be parallel species like Clefairy and Gengar, one on land. Exactly. That's great. I do like that. How do they kiss? Like this. I mean, picture really long snouts and they go, mwah, mwah, like that. I've been okay. Good. Enjoying indie animation. Hell of a boss and amazing. I haven't seen either. Kintora Ryder, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, chat, a long time ago, I said to myself, oh, I'll just make a, okay, you know what? Let me get this thought first. I was basically like, I'm gonna make my own India region. Now I'm just going to put India as kind of the soft focus as the heart of the region. Because, you know, I can assume and pretend that there's going to be a part 2, but I would never be so brazen to believe Potempo can be anything humongous. And that's not me doubting myself, but that's me respecting the level of effort needed to get something like this going. Obviously, I believe in myself 1,000,000%, and I know I can make this real, but I can't, as much as I am a fan of myself and learning to be kinder to myself, I can't just pretend like, yeah, this is gonna be a surefire thing. In part 2, I'll create this, that, and the other. I will be thinking about what I can put into a sequel, but I gotta focus on the now, right? Blue, welcome in, Blue, Armand Blue. Welcome, welcome, welcome. One of your legendary mythical monsters can be based on the Vritrag. Very nice, very nice. I might be doing that, we'll see. One of my students showed me their Pokemon card collections. Ah, that's nice. I still feel Kintorai and Ryger could find their way. Here's the thing. I have Kintorai and Ryger reincarnated in this series. All I'll say is right now, Ryger is represented, and since I'm seeing so many new faces, I'll do this today. I won't do it all the time, but it looks like we've got a ton of new faces. Want to you all, thank you for joining. I'll quickly kind of go over, not every design, but we've been working a good chunk on my Potempo stuff. And Kintorai's spirit has been reborn in this third stage, the Rakshasa demon, and his counterpart is a Wukong concept. This is the evolutionary line for that. So I don't want to bring my designs over one-to-one, and I'm not saying that won't ever happen, but like, for example, you guys will see, this was like who we worked on yesterday, Plague Rat, Plague Doctor. Here's the baby form. This was based off a fake mon I created a long time ago. This Karkadan, which is this rhino or a unicorn, was based on this Fakemon that I created a while back. If you guys remember these two, if you're OG fans. So I'm bringing, I realize and know that Fakemon, I'm a small channel. I don't really care about the numbers as much anymore. I'm just creating for you guys. That's like my favorite thing. I like to create for myself, and I also like to create knowing that you guys will enjoy it. That said, it would be a shame to let some of my favorite Fakemon designs die at 5,000 views left in the corner of the internet. So where I can, even concepts like when I'm redesigning my Gen 1 Pokemon that I realized, like here's my Venusaur take. I'll translate my Venusaur because it became so different to be a character in Potempo, right? We've seen that many times over. And so, yeah, you know, over here, my Vulpix, Growlithe, all these guys, they won't be coming in a part 1. But, yeah, Kintorai's spirit is not here. This is Ryger's spirit. Kintorai, I can't say where he'll show up. He most certainly will not show up as you know him exactly, but that spirit will come back, so don't worry. I had 4 pet turtles and a mouse, but they all escaped. I fed them oh no, I got news for you, buddy. Let me see, 1 second, chat. Okay. In my monster game idea, I have a monster called Kotaramba. So, electric tiger cub with ambers in its fur references the misconception that amber generate electricity. Okay. Oi, asks Blue B. Are you pulling inspiration from a crocodile or like a gharial? In specific, B. Gharial. I put crocodile because that's more digestible for people who are joining in, but I did my whole spiel, my Wikipedia run earlier today as we get into illustrating and designing. But it will be the gharial, and then, like I said, we'll design a second one today. So, once I read through here, then I'll finally start. Hey everyone, I feel a little better. Good to hear it, Draco. Welcome back. Still being cautious. Gotcha. Rhino Potempo and Plague Doctor look epic. I saw the crocodile while crocodiling live stream and didn't want to admit it. Yeah, you know, don't worry. You can keep me on the background while you heal up. You don't have to participate as much. Just focus on getting better. Same body, I'm in my current project cramming as many ideas, but the ones that don't. Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, nothing is for certain, right? I'm going to do several passes on many of my designs. They might not look exactly how I designed them on stream. In fact, you should expect them to change quite a bit to truly get to their peak forms, right? Serpentine body. I'm back. Happy to see you. Welcome in, Daily. Welcome in. In real life, all four of my parents escaped, killed each other. Oh, Jesus. Let's go ahead and we'll get started. So, chat, if you guys know of any cool concepts as far as fishes, or, for example, POTEMPO, as you guys have known, are usually based off of mythological concepts, right? So if the Makara is going to be the mythological concept for the second, I kind of need one for the dolphin as well. So if anyone knows, even you guys can also pitch me fish mythology. If you know simple, it doesn't have to be any groundbreaking ones. I love doing designs for POTEMPO where the first stage really wildly changes into a second or third form. That to me is far more fun than Pokemon. I love how Pokemon does it, but this is just how Bonny John does it, right? As you guys have come to know. So let me know. In the meantime, I will get started. I think I'm going to start working on the dolphin first. And again, I want to be able to do designs, chat, where in Pokemon, right? We got Palafin, who was a hit and miss for a lot of people, understandably. We don't have a proper GHARIAL Pokemon. I mean, again, you can kind of say CROCODILE is, and I think you can easily make a case for that. Obviously, whatever concepts I get for this dolphin mythology, it could be Indian if you guys want to. I know the Indian mythology of the rainbow fish is there. I might use that for something else, so that's why I suggested I might not be entirely focusing on that. But again, these are second stage forms. If they kind of end up looking like, you know, more or less, okay, it's a little sussy, okay? Don't say anything. You're nasty. That's more than fine for me, because these are, you know, two-stage lines. They don't need to be super crazy designs, right? Like, they're here to, of course, give, you know, choice to the player, right? If you like a dolphin POTEMPO, you can choose to befriend it and then put them on your team, right? You can't have every stage be a 3-stage design or something with like this insane story or this, that, or the other. Obviously, I do want to put layers. So once I get layers about this creature, I'll fold that into the design. But for now, I'm focusing on shape. So it looks like they have very simple eyes. I kind of want it to just be right here. Now, remember, POTEMPO are spirits. Whereas with Pokemon, they're creatures that live in the real world. I think it's more than okay for me to, of course, take as much liberty as possible, because I'm the POTEMPO world, or this specific region, right? Because I don't mind using Pokemon terminology. It's called Oragaia. I like the name origami, Gaia being Earth, that many of these cultures are kind of folded into this main space. So that's how the name Oragaia came to be. And it also means, or rather has origin as well, because I kind of want this to be the first, not only is it for my, you know, like game world, the origin starting point, where Bonny John was like putting these creatures in that space, but it's also kind of lore-wise where much of the world maybe began, maybe the first starting place where a lot of POTEMPO were found, right? Someone mentioned guitarfish. That's a good idea. So yeah, another thing is, and I'll keep saying this, no problem, I don't have no qualms repeating it, this is not going to be like Pokemon designs, right, where you can fold, I mean, you can fold multiple things, but I'd rather not do things like, it's a dolphin but also a guitar. That might be something I do down the line, but as of right now, POTEMPO design isn't so cartoony in that way as far as like trying to make things work. So I won't be doing things like folding a guitar into a design, things like that, you know? I'm gonna actually remove the bump because I'm gonna put that on the gharial, because that's like how they got their name. I'm gonna naturally, I think I want to make the gharial snout maybe again visually similar, but even more extreme. So gharials are part of the larger crocodile family. I just really love crocodilic forms. I do know that about you. Goldfish, but it's not a fish. It's just a chunk of gold. Very good idea. I know. I mean the fur-bearing trout is really funny looking, although not in India. Potempo is indeed. Well, here's the thing, Just Lapis. So I will say another thing is that Potempo, just because, and I'll say that there is a beautiful crossway of so many cultures that was so important to me to, you know, make a game in a world where if I am building much of my designs off of mythology, I have no qualms about having an Indian concept evolve into something else or something else. The stream is for recreational purposes. Comment of the day. So, hello Monster. Let me quickly run through these real quick and I'll mention that, yeah, so I have Greek, Egyptian, Slavic, Norse, even Finnish, so many different kind of mythologies all crashing together. And it's not so much that, again, we're in the Pokemon world, many of these regions are meant to be direct representations of places that may change in the future, right? I might be saying this right now, but it's going to be the world, at the very least, this first region will be very India inspired, but it doesn't mean that every single Potempo has to be Indian themed. It's just that a good chunk of them will be. And even when I say that, like, I'd say my fantasy, because there's so much D&D inspiration, I'd say even the fantasy and medieval kind of concepts really do a lot of focus, right? Okay, let's see over here. There are two rhino species that used to live in India, now extinct. The Indian Javan, and I'll write this stuff down. The Javan rhino, and I know of the Sumatran. The Bombay duck for the dolphin or the fish. My uncle was raised in Bombay. He's since passed away. He was a great man. Died in a place called Thrissur, which is in Kerala. Bombay duck. I'll check him out. It'd be fun to make a lizard folk character, something like that, flavored to be humanoid gharial. That would be like something that could be like, say, a third stage Evo, since I've established like the humanoid characters are like more sapient in their third line. Dolphin could also be tied to deception, with the whole reputation of sharks versus dolphins, where dolphins are actually way scarier and deadlier. I love that. Hello, Monster. Gharials are like earnesty in contrast. There's Delphin, a dolphin-shaped sea daimon that serve. Okay, tell me more about Daimon. It could be Daimon. And maybe I flavor him a little bit differently so he doesn't have to be a dolphin per se. Because again, it's not like Potempo are one-to-one of their mythological counterparts. Like, when you guys, I always say this, when I made my Chimera, right? He looks like a Chimera and he doesn't. He's got the parts of a Chimera, but I've done it in a way where it feels kind of natural for the way Potempo works, right? In Pokemon, maybe a Chimera 3-stage would be baby Chimera into a teenager Chimera into a adult one. In mine, the first form is a snake that evolves into a goat that evolves into a lion hybrid. Because Potempo are the sum of their parts. So, for example, this part of its design could really be the focus of the first form of the dolphin. So it could be like a fish that's shaped like this, and then that portion moves onto there. You see what I'm talking about, chat? Music term in the name, region reminiscent of origami. I wonder if the creator is an artist. Just maybe, Rec, just maybe. I don't know if this will help, but Ichiosaur for the base of the body. I don't dislike that idea. I'll write it down here, but I think mostly feel pretty good about this for now, even if it is a little basic. Again, it's a 2-stage line. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it too much, right? They look so friendly, yet give a sense that they could be real dangerous. I'm glad it feels that way. Level select. Welcome in. If you did a guitar dolphin, wouldn't it be more of a sitar? Being based exactly, but again, I'm not gonna be doing that because that's more of a Pokemon style design, right? Chillbill saying, in Celtic mythology, dolphins were seen as guardians of sacred wells and portals to other realms. Very cool. Hello, KK23, welcome in. Maybe you can become a kuka, an old lady hag of Brazilian mythology that takes form of a crocodile. Ooh, I would rather that be its own creature. I like that a lot. That sounds cool. Give it realistic human hands. Hello, Alex. Welcome in. You go with the fur-bearing trout idea. You could also give it mammoth-like traits like the tusk to give it something in common with the split evo. Very nice, Just Slap piece. I like your thinking there. Photorealistic beard. Just slap my beard on it. Delphin was described as looking just like a regular dolphin. However, due to his status as god, is assumed his appearance as he desired. Dolphin Encantado. Brazilian Encantado. Arabic Bahamut, yep, in the Bible, Bake Kujira, which I'll be doing my own version of Bake Kujira. And fish, Shachi Hoko. Chat, can you teach me about Shachi? I'll write it down. Shachi Hoko. And tell me about Encantado. Again, I also have something called Rainbow Fish, but it's kind of a legendary creature, and I kind of want to save that for a potential legendary or pseudo-legendary. No, legendary. Have you guys seen pink dolphins? Chat? Hyper-realistic beard, could you imagine? So the Amazonian river beard. River beard? Oh my god, I just read beard and I said the Amazonian river beard. God damn it. They can have this pink coloration. So I kind of want to, obviously, and look, they have a very similar vibe. Small eyes, this kind of teeth. So I kind of want to make it pink. I think that'll be a fun way to make it a little more interesting. And it'll also give it a way to like separate from the Gharial. Right? Smaller fish in the beard. Kelp hair. You guys really want that, huh? Not happening. You have to be a patron and submit $1,000, and I can really add your ideas to life. Oh yeah, let's do this. Let's have fun. I want all these characters, like, they need to have a good variety of colors and shapes. I think I like the idea of potentially separating this bottom half with maybe a light kind of blue. You know? Might add some interest. And the Gharial can have the same as well. I don't want the beard, and neither do I. Give it random holes for fun? No, can't be doing that. Can't just throw random holes. Random is not a word that's good for design, even though I know you're just trolling. Random works seldomly. Design is intentionality. I didn't have call it split evo. Encantado is a shape-shifting dolphin, and Shachi Hoko is a tiger head and carp body. We might have to do that. I think I like the Encantado if it's shape-shifting, or rather, no. So yeah, I'll do the Shachi Hoko for this one, because I like the idea of a carp becoming Shachi Hoko. Oh, I can look up the Bombay duck. I'll have to look up the Bombay. Because again, I like doing those random evos. They're really fun. A cheese dolphin. Yeah, that's very right. If it's a cheese dolphin, There you go. Bombay duck. I'm just seeing mostly it made as a... That is not what I expected. Is this right? Chat, look at this. Bombay duck. As far as I'm concerned, that's not a duck, but I keep seeing fish. So Bombay duck is not going to be the creature here. The bluish gray with the pink gives me Corsola vibes. Hell yeah. I heard the pink dolphin gets color from constant bruising. I think it's based on its diet, just like flamingos more than anything. It's really cute right now. I don't like that. Give it a hair of a rock star and horns with horns. It's a really ugly fish. Very ugly. Something that for the newcomers here, all of my Potempo, their first stage are, you throw it back into the water. I know, right? Never to be seen again. It looks kind of like a gulper eel or something like that. More of a goose. That's what I was thinking. So these Potempo, they are quite often, let me do this. They have these totem heads, right? Because they're hiding their true identities. So I kind of like the idea for this one. I'm going to turn the totem head to the side, and I'm going to maybe give... It's a carp, right? So I'll have this snout coming out of... This is the top of the totem. So it'll look kind of like this. And if the Shachihoko is the... What was it? Tiger head and carp body. I'm just going to give it more carp features. Like this. And then I'll give it its cute little thing in the back here. And the reason why I want to do this is because we see its eyes. Oh, this looks kind of... It's got a tiger head. Do I really want to give it a true... This is like a pretty insane thing, huh? The carp training the Shachihoko Potempo is supposed to be Potempo. No. I don't want to do like a 1-to-1. It'll be like Shachihoko into this Gharial, or maybe like Encantado. It could be like Encantado. Although I'm not really sure how to make that work. Because it's not like there's a lot of descriptor thing. Let me do... Because I was thinking... Maybe unless it's a really long totem. The Sushi Coke? I want basically to introduce the snout. Just making sure, no worries. Is there, you know what, chat? Is there any carp, like regular carp mythology? And it doesn't have to be Japanese. In fact, I feel like I already have a lot of Japanese mythos. You guys see any other fish mythos from across? How do I make the totem head for this guy work? I like the idea where its snout's extended out, and then you would see its eye right here. Okay. This still looks visually very interesting. Now, what I can maybe do then is maybe I could still have it be like Shachihoko and have the totem part of its body, right? Be colored like a tiger's head or a tiger koi, right? I think that's probably what I can do. So he's got the snout of the dolphin. This kind of, you know what's cool? Chat, tell me that doesn't look kind of like an eye. And then it like kind of perfectly transitions there. This is a very interesting design. And then I can even have his little fins jutting out here. Yeah, let's try it. So its true face would be like in here, right? Only its snout's peeking out. You know? Alright, let's go ahead and start coloring. So, yeah, like I said, I'm going to put orange, black, and white colorations. And that will do a really great job of getting the tiger head part of the Shachihoko. Indian mythological chameleon called the Ajaju? Oh, yeah, tell me about that. I would love to. Although I did find another chameleon. It may not be connected to any specific one, but let's hear it anyway. All right, so let me do, I'm gonna do orange here. I'm gonna do white here. I'll do black, and you know what? I'll do white again. So even if it's not a tiger head, it's still like a tiger's eye, right? And so that will allow the Shachihoko, because again, it's not like I'm creating the Shachihoko exactly. Looks like a chameleon with long, kneeless legs. Its appearance may be like a human head or a chameleon's head. In appearance has 12 long, sharp forked tongues. Oh my god. Okay, I already have an idea for the chameleon. I'm gonna write Ajaju on the side here. That's cute. Good, good, good. I'm glad. What's cool is, again, this look like it's the eye of the tiger. Exactly. This looks like the eye of the creature, but it's actually just the snout. Just to kind of set up what's coming. And again, the reason why I like kind of keeping things a little random and different, even on face value, if it doesn't look like it connects, is, you know, I like that kind of surprise to give to the viewers, you know? I might, you know, change things, like maybe I will make it pink and then maybe blue. And that we don't really know what we're looking at yet, right? Is in Pokemon, I feel like maybe it would look something like this as far as an evolution, right? Doesn't have knees and waddles around like a penguin? Yeah, I'm the same way. Song references, puns, fortunately. Alright, so here we go. I think that's a pretty decent start. I'm gonna start jumping in and I'm gonna clean up the design a little bit. And what I can always do at the end of the day is, of course, incorporate the originating mythology into the design, you know? So that way, so if I call this guy like something like Shachi something or something Hoko, people who want to figure out the etymology would be able to fold in the meaning as far as name, and then from there connect it. Oh, the Shachihoko is this yokai that actually, you know what? I kind of want the eye to. The Shachihoko is a fish with a tiger head, and that's why it's got those tiger marking. You know? Alright, so while I'm working on this chat, what do we have for crocodile myths? Or what kind of creatures could evolve into, say, a gharial? Right? Again, like, if say the Ganji's River Dolphin doesn't work for the Evo, I can make a baby Gharial, or rather baby dolphin evolve into a Gharial. That works too. You know? Okay, so let's do that. Now, I don't love this design, but it's still interesting. So that's part of the point of design, to of course explore, see what works. Ooh, you know what? If it does have a tiger head, maybe the carp's, you know, the mustache of these kind of carp, they could have tiger colorations. And another thing I can do is say this doesn't work for this line. I could totally see this, you know, again, being like a stage form, first stage form for the Makara Gharial. You know what? Maybe we do that instead. Maybe this will be for the Gharial instead. The alligator garb, I'm not sure, to be honest. So basically a catfish with extra steps, maybe. If they're parallel species, that just has me thinking to invert the elements of this. That's true too, Savvy. Chipotle, crocodile, monster of Aztec mythology of primordial water, Sobek, and Amut. Yeah, we could maybe do that for... It could be a very cute Chipotle baby, right? We could do that. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. Which word? Chipotle. I'll put Chipotle right here. That could be, yeah, Chipotle. I mean, on one hand, it might be a disservice to Chipotle, right? Who's this really cool concept. I don't mind making a cute one, but it would be cool to save him for a future game, huh? All right, Shachihoko at the top. Shachihoko. All right, Shachihoko looks pretty good to me. You know what? Maybe he doesn't have a lot of teeth yet. That'll be a little better, I think. That's probably better. It sounds like you're saying Chipotle wrong. Chipotle. I think that's how you would pronounce it based on its spelling. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chatsky. Okay, so yeah, this design feels pretty cute. It's very unique. It fits in line with the other first stage Potempo, where the concepts for the first stage Potempo are always that, you know, you're making friends with them, they're spirits who come to our world, and, you know, just as a kind of way to protect themselves or how they're perceived in our world, they always come with a totem mask over their face. And you, as their trainer, when you're evolving them, they break through the mask and slowly sync with you in tempo So that's where totem, potempo, potential all comes in for the name of these creatures. So there we go. Okay. Hello, I'm late? Question mark. You're not late. I mean, in a way you're late, but you know, whenever you guys get here, whenever you guys get here. Welcome in, welcome in. Is Indiana Jones from Jones? Obviously, Indiana isn't a real place. I have news for you about Indiana Jones, or rather, Indiana. Okay, let's do this. All right, this is a very silly design. Now, is this the traditional Shachihoko? Not at all. However, that's what Potempo is, right? It's not one-to-one, like with a lot of Pokemon designs, right? They're, you know, they're always doing their best to kind of represent the real-world concept, in many cases as accurately as possible. And I myself also, within reason, right, depending on like how revered the mythology is, of course I want to be respectful, right? But where I can take creative liberties, sometimes many of these mythologies don't have a lot of visual references or point of views. So I'm adding the tiger part of the face, as you can see, in the carp whiskers. And we're gonna have a far more fun design for it, you know? When you look up Shachihoko, you would never see this, but now, what an interesting first form we have for this guy right here. So the real myth kind of looks like a Magikarp myth middle stage, the real one. Oh, I guess I can see that, right? Well, it's a carp, right? It's probably orange if it's like a tiger themed. I just realized the shape of this is the shape I gave my shark Pokemon, Thresh. Okay, let me see. So we have the Encantado. I'm gonna look up the Encantado right now to see if there's any kind of extra layers that I can do. And I wrote Encantado. Mythical creature overview and history. Is a mythical creature that is deeply rooted in Amazonian folklore. This creature is believed to be a river dolphin that possesses the ability to transform into human beings, who are often depicted as enchanting and alluring. In human forms, often portrayed as graceful and pale-skinned beings, dressed in bright clothes in an old-fashioned style. Oh, it's a cover story for unwanted or scandalous pregnancies. There's not many visual designs for it. Oh, here we go. Physical descriptions. Ability in their dolphin form, they have a sleek body with a long snout and small eyes. Kind of like what I'm doing here already. Their skin is a light pink color, which makes them stand out from other dolphins. They're excellent swimmers and can maneuver through the water with ease. Apparently I was doing all this before that. When Encantado transform into humans, they retain some of their dolphin features. They're said to have pale skin, bright eyes, charming smile. Often described as graceful and elegant. No, they really don't have a lot of images here, chat. And then when you do write in Encantado, you see some sort of, I guess, wannabe... What the hell? It's just wannabe... No, we don't. There's not a lot I can do. Like Falafin, Vaquita is sad, so cute basically because humans got a human. Now, are you gonna make the dolphin look more than just like a dolphin? That's the question. I might not have to, because it is gonna be a 2-stage, you know. But let me see what I can do over here. If this were to become a video game, would you split into 2 versions? No, it would definitely be 1 version. I don't want to cheat people out of their money. And not that I'm saying Pokemon does that, but nowadays there's no reason to do that. Pokemon gets to do that because that's kind of their tradition kind of thing, and they absolutely do make more money selling 2 games. But yeah, I wouldn't do that. Is this the Makara? Is it going to turn into the Makara? Makara will be a second line. Basically, the Gharial will represent the Makara. Palafin and Prego. Alright, now this is too much trolling, kid. This is too much trolling. So, I'm going to... What I'll do is I'll clean up this design. Again, it's a 2nd stage design. If I don't have too much... If I don't have too much to put here, it's not a big deal. At the end of the day, if it's just a regular, but unique, it's still a unique dolphin, right? It's not like we've seen a Ganges River dolphin in a Pokemon game or a Monster Tamer. And it's got features of the Amazonian River dolphin, which with the pink coloration. People who like dolphins get a cool dolphin, you know? I think that's pretty cool. So for me, if it's just a dolphin at the end of the day, I won't take it as a negative thing. Obviously, when I do a second pass, if I come around and I can get some sort of cool, you know, if I can get some sort of cool additional design motif, awesome. But if not, no big deal, right? Trying to think of how to bring the warm colors and tiger motif, and it necessarily doesn't have to either, to be honest with you. A lot of my POTEMPO don't necessarily have that. Again, that might be something I change when I get around to drawing a or designing a part 2. Not part 2, sorry chat. I'm trying to focus on this thing. But basically, by doing a second pass, I might realize, like, yeah, Bon, you gotta make the designs look more cohesive. But again, I want to make sure I stand out from Pokemon, and I don't want the evolutions to necessarily read like Pokemon. If that's how it will be done, then so be it. But in this exploration, I don't mind if there aren't like lingering forms of the first form and the second, right? Because the idea is POTEMPO are they are the sum of all their parts. So just be, and you know, I think this is valid for real life, right? Chat, you guys can see me right now. I look the way I do now, but I can go into my photos, and I've shown this before, but the potential for all of us to change exists in us. This was your professor way back before, super overweight, no beard, and that one I don't have his long hair. But eventually, here's another one. The idea is like we don't always look the same. You know, as we look at this. As we grow old. So I don't necessarily mind if my designs don't necessarily connect, but obviously I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. In reality, chat, I'm spewing all this yappity yap that I do because I am the yapping master, and I may very well decide, like, yeah, I think I really do need to make sure these lines are connected, right? Maybe it's for gameplay reasons, maybe it's for you know, maybe it's for, I guess, just making sure maybe younger fans understand what's going on, right? But you know, being able to design at the very least two lines today two stage lines, a gharial and a dolphin. You know, what if down the line I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can, in a more Pokemon-like way, make Potempos just a little more developed, right? And then I do add like a Sithar feel to this concept, right? That could be a thing that I do, for all I know. But for now, let's just put down our colors, kind of gauge where we're going. Because the real show is when we get to the crocodile, right? That's why we're here. There's definitely no reason for Pokemon to make new trading except for trading version exclusives. And even then, right? Version exclusives, like, you can easily get them from online trading, right? Back in the day, you needed to buy a separate accessory, right? A link cable. Now your link cable is the internet, and you don't gotta trade with your friends, right? Who might make things easier for you, for sure. But now we have the capability of being able to put a Pokemon for wonder trades and this and that, so I see no reason for me to try and gouge you guys to buy 2 copies. And, you know, other monster tamers have tried to do that. I'm more than certain that Digimon even tried to do a 2 kind of thingy a long time ago. You know? I forget what they were called, but I remember when I was working at a game store a long time ago, I remember seeing 2, you know? But yeah, it's not something that I want to do. Like, I don't think I could... I'm sure if I really sat there with, like, really gross video game executives who are, like, trying to, like, gouge my audience or, you know, just gamers as a whole, Bonnie, you could put this and that, and we could really sit down and really try to figure that out. You know? Honestly, I really like this guy, as simple as he is. What do you think, chat? I think also... because at the very least, I still get to represent India, which is pretty dang cool, right? So when people look at it, at least they'll be like, oh, what is that? And then I say, it's a Ganges river dolphin. You know? In Hinduism, as far as the Ganges go, the Ganges is viewed as a goddess. In fact, her like title is like the Mother Ganges, essentially. So maybe I could even incorporate, you know, concepts of Mother Ganges here. But there you go. If someone wants a dolphin Potempo, there she is, or he is. Or technically they don't have gender, so there they are. And you can put one on your team and maybe it'll kick butt. I mean, it's pretty solid shape, pretty fun color palette. It could use, I'd say, maybe one more color potentially. But alright, cool. Version exclusive Pokemon suck. IRL Palafin. Bonnie looking to redesign himself in 2024. I redesign myself every year. That's part of growth, you know? Maybe not by purpose, but in the future, Potempo becomes big and I'm surrounded by my virtual AI Potempo bodyguard spearheading the EL team. Team Flash will flash you all. No, don't say that. Yeah, Ceruledge and Armorage, I do like that they're able to do that kind of stuff, you know? The Wanaguchi. Tell me about the Wanaguchi, Rex. Riri, welcome in. Thoughts on branching evolutions? I have branching evolutions for my game, Potempo. I'll quickly show you guys a few of my branching evolutions, as it were. And so for the new folks here, welcome in. When it comes to Potempo, the main focus as far as design and evolution is that depending on the stage and the species, hell, even certain 2-stage forms, the evolution only occurs if you push down a path of order or a path of chaos. So for example, this is a 3-stage line right here in the middle. I'll quickly kind of block everything out so you guys can stay focused. Or rather, not stay focused, but be focused on what I'm trying to highlight. So this line right here. So we start with a fungal spore. No matter what, it evolves here. If you go down chaos, order, or fair. Fair, as of right now, doesn't really net you an evolution, because to me, fair doesn't represent. Fair is not like, it's, if we're getting philosophical, finding inner peace, right? Even in Hinduism and Indian culture, when we put our hands like this when we pray, Christians do it, but you know, you'll see when people greet you in India, they might say namaskaram, something like that. It's the joining of the God in you and the human in you, right? You have things like God of destruction and God of, you know, preservation, and those kind of concepts. So if you have, say, destruction, could be, say, order or chaos, depending on how you look. Same, you know, with the other side of preservation, depending on, you know, what you're looking at it from, right? And so I have this mushroom line. Its third form, it can evolve. In its chaos form, it becomes this cordyceps-based creature, or in its order form, it becomes this bioluminescent fairy circle. I might change this design up a little bit, because the fairy circle doesn't really hit with this direction. I might want it to be more delicate and beautiful. But I still love its design. I could bring it to a part 2 because I just love mushroom creatures anyway. But regardless, there's a chaos and order, and there's that branching split. But yeah, more or less, I love branching evos. It is a very major focus. Hell, even this monkey line, this is the order evolution, this is the chaos evolution. I may make this just a solo line, but I may have the order form be a sea swine and have the mermaid be the order, or then a siren be for chaos. The kelpie becomes the order, or not the kelpie, what is this? The hippocampus will become the kelpie for chaos, and then the Loch Ness monster for order. So that is a very major focus for POTEMPO for sure, branching. In an alternate universe, POTEMPO is a multi-giant, and this thing called Pokemon is a new indie game. Could you imagine? Speaking of version exclusive, anyone at Violet version willing to trade exclusive so I can finally get the shiny charm? You heard chat. If you can help out, okay, that'd be awesome. Dolphin, very cool, cash money. Wanaguchi is a Tsukumogami, which comes from the circular hollow bells found at shrine entrances, which are run. When one of these bells become a yokai, it sprouts. Ooh, I like that. The little wooden bodies these guys have look really interesting. Thank you, Queen. Yeah, all the baby forms. In fact, I'll show you guys again, since we do have a lot of new folk in chat today. So this one is such an early POTEMPO, I never designed one for him. But for example, this jellyfish has the wooden mask inside. This also was an early one, so is this one. But this guy has one. This guy has one. And it's this fun thing that allows the designs to all feel like they're from the same starting point. I really love that all the babies, even he has one, although I guess I wrapped its face in a little too. So it would theoretically be something like that. And you would be able to see like the wooden texture. The monkey's got one, so does this blobfish, so does this seahorse. This was an early one, so I'll have to give him one. I might have to sit down and do kind of an upkeep day. This guy would need one as well, but it's kind of hidden underneath the snow. So I'm very pleased with how the wooden stuff is working out. No Devil POTEMPO. Project Voltage all over again? What is Project Voltage? Does the mushroom have... oh, it's gone. What's up, Justin? Welcome in. So I'll close that. Okay, let me look at... because if we could use this, I would not be against using... what is it called? Waniguchi. Waniguchi. Japanese flat, round, hollow, metal slit gong that hangs before the worship hall at a Shinto shrine. Oh, I see. Oh, this is tight. Yeah, I think this would seriously work so freaking well, actually. So this is that, and it's got this very crocodilian shape, and guess what? It's got like this bell rung. I can so easily translate that. Hell yeah, great suggestion, Draco. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm gonna translate to the Wanaguchi. So now we have, okay, so now the thing is, I'm gonna have a lot of Japanese inspired kind of stuff, which I don't mind, right? Because maybe that's my homage to, of course, Japan, which I love, and also Pokemon, which has a ton of yokai. But I do want to put more mythologies from all over the world as highlight, right? So since I am putting the Makara actually as the Sarah's asking if Lushroom had a mask. No worries. You're welcome. Project Voltage was the Hatsune Miku. Oh yeah, that was awesome, dude. That was so sick. I love that. All right, let's make him a cute fishy then, because he's the baby form, and I think his Potempo face mask. So he can have these kind of sharp little bits. I'm gonna give him sharp kind of things. Ooh, I keep doing the same body shape for the fishes. All right, let's keep it simple then, kind of like the image. Since it's going to be, ooh, you know what? His face, his Potempo totem mask can be very long. And maybe, you know, it's something like that. And I'll put like the metal bell bit at the top. And again, it just needs to be loosely like the creature or the mythology. I'm not making it exactly, right? In the same way when Pokemon make their, say, yokai or even Objectmon that's based off of something, they don't ever truly make it one-to-one, right? They find ways to make it interesting. So here's the first form. And another thing that I could see myself doing down the line is I can bring in split evos for existing creatures, right? So I'm gonna make his mask like a green, kind of olive green tree. So for example, maybe this creature in part 2 could evolve into a Grootslang from South African mythology. You know? I'm not putting the Grootslang. I was going to originally. I'm not putting him in this game because I've hit a already limit on creatures I can put in. And I mean, it's an incredible list of super diverse mythologies, folklores from around the world, animals, right? I have so many animals involved. I don't have a lot of crossover, which is really nice. You know? I do have, you know, some animals represented a little more because obviously there are more versions of them, right? Like there's a ton of different kind of bugs and birds, right? The Grootslang is very similar to Makara also, so, you know, in a future game, maybe this Wanaguchi inspired first form could become a Grootslang, for example, and I think that'd be really dope. Oh, you know what? Maybe, yeah, maybe that continues all the way around. And so that way, we do have that visual representation of like, that length coming back as a snout for the gharial crocodile. And at least the gharial crocodile will have some interesting things going on because I get to put a layer, like the Makara layer underneath it, right? Brother looking fresh as usual, appreciate you. Welcome in, dudes. Random question, where you from? I'm from New York. You sound like you're from around the area. I was born and raised in Queens, New York. When I talk to New York people, and already I can hear myself switching it up just a little bit because I hear that, but I have my professional voice. But yeah, you know, I got my Yankee fitted around the corner. I got that sitting here. I don't know what you mean is canon. It was a music and art promotional crossover. Headcanon. Every Potempo that starts with a mask is a hollow from Bleach. I don't hate that idea, but it's definitely not that because I want it to be Bonny John's original work. Honestly, love the wood mask idea for the starters. Them just being babies is kind of boring. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, like I originally had them all as creatures. And you know, don't get me wrong. There's a ton of personality and you can make them babies and that's fine. That's more than fine. However, something that's so important to me. So that's why, you know, sometimes like I don't mean to get aggy at you guys ever if I'm hearing like, Bon, you should incorporate this or you should do that or da da da. But many of the ideas you guys are pitching, right, work for Pokemon, right? And I love hearing ideas, don't get me wrong. However, I don't want these creatures to look like Pokemon, you know what I mean? I want them to look like Potempo. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what that means. So whether or not it means that, you know, these creatures have something unique like these totem masks, even in the name Potempo, Totempo, potential tempo, is very important to me that they register as original and unique concepts, you know? Ooh, you know what? I might just do something like this, where maybe he's just got like, he don't even got back legs. He's just got like these two kind of front like gator claw type of things. And I'll even do something like this. Oh, that looks like Spider-Man's thing, but I'm trying to make it look like a croc. Oh, people might think this is a dinosaur. I gotta chill. Is that a tuna can? No, it's this kind of like, it's supposed to be, it does kind of look like it, so maybe I'll minimize it a little bit. I could tell? That's funny. On the same way with my accent? Yeah. Honestly, yeah, since I've moved here to Florida, it has obviously dissipated a little bit, but whenever I do talk to, you know, my people back home, or if anybody, I feel like I'm getting checked, so I switch it up a little bit. It's a doorbell. Is it? Oh yeah, I think it is a doorbell. Question Bonnie asks, K Reynolds, do all the starter forms masks have to be wood? I know you're going for the totem theme, but does every mask have to be wood? Could some be metal or born? I love that question, and I have been thinking about that actually. So I want to show you guys this. I want to see if I can find it. 1 second, chat. Because it's funny how a lot of ideas that we have, if at any given moment, as an artist, you create concepts, and I've created many IPs and original thoughts and whatever it is, it's all just sitting there waiting for me to like really, you know, find a home, so to speak, right? And so I have this world called The Garden Story. I've talked about it on stream before, and I think this might be that. And something that I had there was, it's a 2022. Hopefully this is it. No, this is not it. But here was like some of my earliest exploration for this franchise. And you could see my characters had like wooden masks on their face. I would love if I could show you guys. And something that from that world was that they would have like varying kind of kitschy. One has a porcelain mask, one has oh, hold up, is this it? 2020. If I can find this, this would be so sick. Okay, so I mean, for example, so this raccoon guy, you can see he had a wooden mask. She would have had a more metallic mask because she was like this bee creature. This lady, it's a more pearlescent kind of mask. And then this was like kind of like, you would think he's the bad guy, but he's not. He's like this wolf guy. He also has got like a wooden mask. And then here's my main character, Rory. You guys have seen Rory. He also had a wooden mask. So I basically more or less hold on, what do you mean can't wait to see you in Deadpool 3? How long have you moved to Florida? I'm old. I'm big age. I moved here maybe 11, 12 years ago. If you're going for gradual, have a little indent to show where the mouth starts and make it longer for the gharial look. Let me see. Yeah, I do think that they could be varying different kinds of masks. I want to be able to more or less, as long as the feel that their faces are being hidden, I think, yeah, it could be true that it could be any texture, and it could be cool to really change it up between each one. And that might just be, you know, something that I have to figure out when I do the second passes. I'm not against that idea at all. I just like the idea of all of them being wood, because wood is a very humble, property, or not property, material, right? Like, wood is, you know what, maybe I will have to just give him low legs like this. And yeah, Majora's Mask, exactly. So the idea is, if at the end of the day, I want to make sure, like, with the totem pole concept, and obviously I want to pay respect to indigenous tribes, Polynesian tribes and cultures that use totem poles. So it might be the play for me to, you know, move away from the totem aspect of like complete wood. But I think I'm doing it in a way where I'm not, you know, using it disrespectingly, etc., etc. And yeah, ultimately, I feel like what I would do is keep it wood for now while I'm still developing everything on my first run. And then I will at some point, you know, potentially take a look at means to add more variety in masks if it fits their personality. But I like that, like, the wood is like a very, I don't want to say primitive, I don't want to say tribal, but it's just of the earth. You know, it grounds these spirits in a very like humble kind of way. You know, but you know, like you said, like if I were to go about doing anything along the lines of swapping up to porcelain or metals or this or that, that could as easily add a lot of personality, you know? So I'm not against that at all. That's a great question. It's definitely something I've thought about, because again, even the wood mask thing isn't new to POTEMPO, like something that I just thought of while I was working on POTEMPO. Like, I thought about it because I'm like, you know, I like the way the stacking and the name totem pole, etc. But like, as you saw, like I've developed Garden Story from years ago. So to me, I'm like, well, I could absolutely, you know, go through my catalog of concepts that I've built out after all these years, and you know, put in the ideas that I think you got to continuously shift, chat. Ideas that you might believe are good for one thing, that might not be their home. You know, you might have to shift over your idea and bring it over to something else. You know? You just genuinely never ever know. Alright. I'll figure out what exactly I want to do. But here we go. That's a pretty cute baby form. I think I want to give him... Again, I like orange on these masks quite a bit. I think I'll give him some orange. Yeah, that's fire. That's fire. Maybe orange in the back. All right, let me catch up over here. You don't see all that? Gotcha, gotcha. Head out. Yo, have a good one. Take care. Now we have the skull kid of the game. I'm just up for 22 hours. This is worth it. I need you to rest up. Yeah, that explains a lot, actually. Sleep deprivation. This little dude has some alligator gar vibes. It's natural. But exactly, that's the perfect word, Savvy. It's natural. Totem poles are commonly known to be made of wood. It makes sense. If I could go back to dream about oily meat. Wanaguchi looks so cute. Good, good. You don't want any Gucci? You're Gucci with the Gucci. No problem. So here we have Wanaguchi. Cool. I like him quite a bit. Part of me does, again, want to add maybe like glowing eyes, but I don't want them to look robotic. But I think it will give a nice pop if they were like glowing to some capacity, right? Because it's the eyes are underneath these helmets. Little gator hatch chirping sounds. That's too cute. So let's go ahead. Now it's time for Makara, and I'm gonna build it off of the Gharial. This is what you came here for, chat. So we have the cute line at the top, and there'll be like convergent type of spirits, right? Where they've got similar kind of snouts. You see their vibes already kind of feel similar, which is cool. Little laser pistol. Yeah, I think expanding the mass materials to other things that are natural of the earth can keep the humble thing. I think you're right. I think that's a great point, Savvy. You're absolutely right. And by adding more natural elements, it could just further push there. And you know, I'll quickly go back to my compendium. There are ways where I've done that just a little bit, so it'll be something that I do in the second pack where I can like try and expand. But for example, I love the way this guy came out, where he's got sea kelp as hair growing out, almost like floating as if they're underwater, right? I quite like that a lot. I guess this one has like a metal ridge for some reason. Originally I was like thinking I could cap each of them off, but I think my capture device would be a great one. Shell mask, yeah, metal mask. I think you're right about that. Crystal masks, absolutely. Now again, the only reason it might be that wood is the constant staple. Like it could be a wood totem mask, and then there's like extraneous features. Just because, for example, a creature like this, it might, if he had say a crystalline or rocky mask, then his rocky body kind of gets lost. So in a way, it's really fun and cool that he's got like this thick kind of rocky, but you can see how I add the moss here that carries upward here into a leaf. So there are ways that I can still, you know, drama mask wouldn't work because that's too material, right? Like that's a little too modern era, right? I want these masks to feel like they were made by an ancient force, right? Which essentially is kind of what it is, right? These are all spirits, right? So I will certainly mark down those ideas. I do love them, and I'm of course very happy to always hear out your suggestions and thoughts. So yeah, like basically anything natural, right? Shell, rocky, crystalline. Naturally, again, I think for consistency, I do want to stick with the wood as the main, and then features that maybe are rocky or crystalline. But again, it's something I'll have to play with. It could be that the constant are the face marks, and that the variables are the textures, right? So shell, rocky, crystalline, wood. I'll just write natural. Sounds about right. And then yeah, there's like fun ways that I can add a lot of personality, right? So we have the slime gushing over this one. In my scrapped, I'll be able to show you one that I haven't gotten a home for yet. But I want to put them in the game. Part of the fun is, oh, here's another one where, for example, there's like a turtle shell as a rice hat for this totem face. Conversely, look, different ways I can do for the slugs, right? I can have their antennae like whiskers kind of peeking out, or I can do one where the totem covered the eyes, because it's mostly covering the face, right? Now, I don't like this because then it just goes to show you the importance of how sticking in a specific direction makes things feel consistent. It's a little harder to tell that this is a first stage. I'm not against breaking the rules every now and then to show the importance of a creature, but anyway. Massmon asks, can baby Potempo, or first stage Potempo, retreat the spirit body into the wood slice for portability, like Terrapagos retreats into the gem for Limo? You have them retract and keep them in your pocket with consent, of course. I think that's what I was thinking. So part of why I designed the wooden bits is I've been thinking about what I'm going to do. And I'm sorry for delaying the Gharial. I will be starting him very soon. But part of how I got to the wooden masks is because, and why they typically have that cylindrical shape is one, because totem poles and totems usually have that as well. But in my head, the way the capture devices, which I don't want them to be like you're capturing Potempo. I don't even like the word taming Potempo. It's more like befriending or attuning to them. I'd like a nice, short and sweet, easy word. But what's good, Zach? Welcome in, welcome in. Good news, everybody. So I have a feeling the capture device might look something as simple as this, where it's going to be potentially wooden like this, and in fact it could be a more colorful wood, and that's why maybe the natural wood colors for the creatures make it very easy. But I really like something like this, where these are the capture devices. Again, this is like the first time I'm like sharing it on stream. I've drawn these concepts off screen, so I'm just drawing them to show you. But you might be getting your first look at what the quote-unquote, again, capture devices are going to look like. So they're going to have these metallic tops over here, because these are going to be more like human-made. Or if not human-made, like, I really love Breath of the Wild's take on technology feeling both ancient, yet feels modern. So I would ideally like to do the same thing for my devices. So if you notice, many of my Potempo first forms have, they have masks that have the same kind of cubic shape. So I like the idea that the capture devices will be homes for those creatures, right? Hence why they have those wooden faces. It kind of looks similar to them. And they, as spirits, jump right in, and they kind of just get to watch from the inside. So you can tell when there's a Potempo inside, because their eyes would look something like this probably. Again, it's a lot I have to, still confirm, but I don't mind sharing this. So they're kind of watching, and then theoretically, I don't want to use red because everyone's going to assume Pokemon, but I would love for people to be able to, like, their capture devices be different colors, right? I could maybe go out of my way to just go like, my capture devices are blue, right? Just to be like, obviously, I'm not trying to go out of my way to, like, be different from Pokemon, but like where I can, naturally I might. Oh, here's the New York Knicks right here, blue and yellow. But yeah, that's what the capture device is going to be. And it might be something like, you hold in your hand like this, like that you can't really avoid, right? Even Digivices you hold in your hand, depending on the size, right? The Digivices you can hold like this, like the D2s were like that. Yeah, it might be like a small Pokeball size type of thing, and maybe you like slide it like this, and it's like spinning in the ground, and like a totem pole, like the creature kind of lifts up almost like a projection, right? So I don't know exactly any more than that. I've been playing with a lot of exploration. But yeah, there you go. You got to see. That's the fun thing about joining my streams, chat. You get to see. I mean, obviously, all of this stuff is, you know, early design work, but you'll get to see spur of the moment stuff like that. Yeah. Gel mask, relevant wine mask, marble mask, McDonald's bag. Just got here. Welcome in, Mega Muter. Are masks always hard, solid materials? There's some options for wool, fur, hair. Yeah, I mean, as I was saying earlier, welcome in, Mega. I'm not against, you know, of course, adding varying options. Meaning, like, it's supplementary, but I think for the sake of consistency, right? You can see here, for today's stream, these two, and I don't want to call them baby forms, but, you know, these two first stage creatures, you can tell that they're the first forms because they have their masks on. And I quite love that. Having an immediate identifier is very cool, because people who are new can understand off rip what that is exactly. And it's just another way that I can kind of create something that feels original and new to me, right? Idea, Evil Mafia that illegally trades POTEMPO. I just love the idea of them handing over tucked wood into POTEMPO poker chips. You can make different types of capture devices, like with Pokeballs, that make it so you can have a more customizable stack. Maybe that's with the different materials. Yeah, that's true too. We should be able to paint the wood, maybe. It gives me Super Mario block vibes. I like it. Nice, good to hear. To catch, I spirit. It makes me think making a deal. Making the capture device or offerings, symbol of promise. Yeah, that's exactly the vibe, Savvy. You're really nailing it with a lot today. I appreciate that. So I do love how immediately, thank you. Good. So that's kind of like my main goal with POTEMPO. Okay, so I've chatted a lot. We've talked about all that kind of stuff. I'm going to finally design. It's now an hour 45 in. Chat, if you've been drawing with me, let's all stretch together. Oh, I gotta get my chain out. Let's all stretch together. It's a nice stretch, goddamn. Feeling my traps. Yesterday, my posture was awful when I was drawing. So POTEMPO want my soul. No, they don't want your soul. I also like the idea of attuning to them. If you want a simpler word, maybe you match or connect with them. But I do think it, yeah, I like, and much of the concepts of this, as well as much as it's rooted in a lot of mysticism and Hinduism and Buddhism, and, you know, I would say D&D is a huge influence, right? I haven't talked about it too much, but your player level, I want the player character to truly be more or less, you know, something that I guess, what's the word? Obviously, trainers in the Pokemon world are important, right? They educate and teach, you know, the creatures how to battle and all that kind of fun stuff, whatever, right? But I want POTEMPO to be, like blank canvases in a way where it's the player's like personal spirit that's like motivating them as much as, you know, the physical, right? So when you're tuning, it's like you're linking your spirits together. That's why when you evolve, like you're using your player mana to evolve, right? I'm kind of using like Yu-Gi-Oh! and Magic the Gathering to kind of inform the battle system. But, okay, let's read here. I'll be brutally honest, Bonnie, that Dolphin needs some major work. In an actual game, it would get skipped over so quickly because it's just too simple looking. I disagree about actual game getting skipped over so quickly. But yeah, I know it needs probably a secondary kind of layer. It's Geralt time. I agree the Dolphin's too simple. I think we simply can't afford any more time on it. I could. Kind of just look like a cartoon river dolphin, just playing poker, but the chips are... Okay, I don't know what the poker stuff are going there, but I'll let that go. But yeah, the whole point is, you know, these are very early first stage designs. Nothing is being pushed out, as it were. Nothing that I don't know already, but I do appreciate the brutal honesty. That said, again, in a world where if many creatures are going to all look detailed, then no one's going to look detailed. You know, the importance of design is variation, right? Adding details to arbitrarily match something is detrimental to the range in design. So while I agree it's simple, and that naturally, of course, it will get, you know, more love, you know, whenever I do the second pass for all 150 creatures, it will be very important to have a range of diversity in designs. Not all of them need to have the same level of detail. You have to probably assume that the three-stage creatures will naturally have the most amount of detail. And because that's a second stage form and just needs to exist as a niche character to fill up the world, right? Probably be swimming in the river. It doesn't need to be over detailed. It would ruin its job as being something that lives in the river, right? It's Flamigo all over. Yeah, there are plenty of Pokemon designs that are super simple that people pass over, but guess what? If you pass it over, that's okay. There's gonna be someone else who's like, I love Flamigo. In fact, I did a poll recently and I put Flamigo as kind of like the negative answer. And one of our mods was like, why'd you do that with Flamigo? I like Flamigo. And I was like, yeah, that just reminds you that at the end of the day, every Pokemon or every Potempo will be somebody's favorite. Obviously, I'm not going to ship or push out anything less, right? I will make sure every design is something that I'm proud of, for sure. So what the Dolphin will probably need is a second... he needs a second layer to inspire him a little bit, right? People can... Oh, you know what? This kind of reminds me of Bronzong. I'll have to figure out what that is. They could switch it up with the aquatic baby Potempo turning into a land river dolphin and the croc Potempo becoming more... Yeah, exactly. It also exists as part of a line, right? So, more or less, if it turned from one thing to another, that could make that design feel all the more interesting. But people always do like to make a connection between the lines, so that will be something I need to do. I understand, Bonnie, I mean no disrespect. I don't feel any disrespect. My gripe is that it's just a dolphin. I need something visually to tell me it's a fantastical, something to endear me to it. For sure, for sure. Okay, I won't go into it too long because otherwise I will be already delaying this poor Gharial who's been waiting to be designed for even longer. But yes, without a doubt, you guys basically want a better design for it, and I'm just going to let you know again, these are very first passes, right? I'm getting to my 4th design in under 2 hours, so that's why maybe it's not as simple. But sometimes the only thing you can do is put down a design so that you're able to come back to it with clear eyes. And now that I have a dolphin, I can add layers to it whenever I get to it, right? Maybe Franzon base bumps. I want to make sure it doesn't look like Bronzong, so I gotta like probably find another way. I love Probopass. I think it misses the mark, a little bit, but the concepts are very fun. I like Nosepass a lot more. Okay, so now, this goes to what Kay was saying. This will be a far more fun design because there are multiple layers here, right? It'll at least be visually interesting. A dolphin might just be a dolphin, but for example, I have a Chimera Potempo, right? And that's got features of a, let's say, a goat, a lion, and a snake. But it's not just regular goat horns I used a specific goat horn. The way I incorporated the features add a little more value and interest, right? because this is also going to be a chimera, all that stuff is going to create the interest for me. And that's where a lot of the mythological kind of stuff do a lot of heavy lifting. Exactly, an elephant crockelfish is basically what we're doing here. So I'm going to get the body out. I think I'll do a pose like this where... And since Makara, right, has like a fish-like body, I'll have the face be inspired by the gharial, right? And it'll be a very long face. I want the snout to kind of really, as if like it could elongate it even further, right? Kind of leading into the super thin snout. I think what I also want to do, I'm going to extend the mouth from here. And I kind of want to have... Now, there's a reason why I gave the river dolphin the kind of teeth like this that lived here. I think what I want to do for this one, I was thinking about it when I was drawing it, right? I might straight up make it even thinner and allow the teeth here to permeate the face. And I feel like that creates a far more interesting silhouette there. So it'll be a chimera in its own right. Chimeras, yeah, I was reading that earlier in my Wikipedia read for chat. And since gharials have those bumps, it's really cool how the elephant snout kind of comes in and wraps just like in the naming, the gara or the earthenware that inspires the name gharial, because the males have that bump, which you can see right here. So that's going to be really cool. That bump kind of, it's like an artificial bump. Cool. Flamingo is a fail to me unless you read its dex entries. I agree. Yeah, Flamingo is not a fun design, but what I'm trying to get at is when you mention people are going to pass over that dolphin. They might, and they're allowed to. Let's say in that incarnation, right? Because I know that's not going to be the final form of the dolphin. I know that. But there is something very beautiful and cool to understand that just because a design isn't for us, like Game Freak is full of professionals, right? And like everyone loves to say this every generation. We've talked about it on stream, right? Where people are like, they don't know how to design, or their designs are getting whack. Pokemon don't look like Pokemon anymore. But somebody's gonna like the design. And we might feel annoyed because we're like, dang, they missed the mark. And I do think Flamingo misses the mark a little bit. And I do wonder sometimes, blah, 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 blah. But I think there's something very cool about the simplicity of things that sometimes we take granted for. Like, I miss the days when starters could be simple designs, right? Where they were just a big fur alligator or a big Charizard dragon with wings, or a big you know what, so I think the back tail is like a mermaid kind of thing, so I kind of want to do something like that. You know what, if he's part elephant, maybe I can have yeah, exactly. Is that the front or the back? It's the front. Some Ambulocetus or other primitive cetaceans could make a more varied river dolphin design. Thank you for that. Yeah, I love that. I'll take all this. And then, you know, I'm sure the thing is what that design is missing is a mythological lean. That's what every single one of my designs have, right? So my gharial crocodile here won't simply be a crocodile, right? If people look at my POTEMPO designs and they're like, bro, that's literally just a gharial dolphin or gharial alligator. it's because I didn't apply the mythological lean that all the Potempo seem to have, right? So it might be really cool to, at some point, you know, make sure that all the concepts really have something tethered to their design, so they have that secondary layer, right? All right, the thing is, okay, what I'll probably have to do, sick looking, thank you. And chat, if you have more design, or if you guys can find me more aquatic, yeah, we tried to look up mythological dolphins. We got the Encantado, but we didn't have a lot of visual stuff to find. If we can make, look, I could use anything. I'm not trying to do, even my Makara here is not one-to-one, right? It's not one-to-one. It's going to be Bonny John's version of a Makara, right? In the same way, when I made a Chimera, I don't want people to be like, oh, that doesn't look like the Chimera that I know. And it's like, yeah, because I'm not making a medieval manuscript where, you know, we know how they describe a Chimera. It's my magical game world. I want to make it really interesting and unique. So my Chimera will look a little different, right? I don't hate Flamingo because it's just Flamingo. There's clearly something extra conveyed. It's just not clear. Why is it shaped like a boxing glove? It could be because boxers, you know, utilize a kind of, many people liken boxing to fighting. It's a very, very common, what do you say, not simile, not metaphor, analogy maybe, where, you know, it's all about rhythm and movement. So is it the best way to do it? No, they didn't handle it the best way. But I still think it's really cool. And I have all this clarity, so because I've done so many Pokemon redesigns, right? So I can sit down and know why I don't like a design. But I've been humbled by you guys so many times where I'll be like, yo, I don't like Breloom. That's the kangaroo looking one, right? Because I like the baby mushroom. I don't like the kangaroo boxer mushroom. But then every one of you guys like them. I'm like, am I a crazy person? Like, I don't like that design. Am I crazy? Then I realized, like, shit, man. If they like it, that's cool, bro. Like, you don't have to worry about it. I'm like, all right. Y'all like it. That's cool. I'm gonna give him his nose here. I'm gonna make his eyes up here. The Makara. It could be cool if I extend his mouth even longer. And then I maybe, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna bring his tail up and lift it up like that. And you know what? I will give him a back thing over here. Breloom is cute. Dolphin could be both a dolphin and a dolphin fish. Nose, chin, trunk, all three. Let me move I do miss redesigning like Pokemon, don't get me wrong. But I've just been loving designing my own thing, you know, like that. I feel so excited to get to do that. I understand the dislike of Breloom coming from Shroomish slap in the face by giving it character. I mean, I don't want to say slap in the face. It just feels a little too random, you know, for me. Like, it's a mushroom. How did it become like this boxer, kangaroo, raptor type of thing? But again, sometimes then I look at myself and I'm like, am I overthinking things? Like, if people like it, they like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Okay, yeah, this is nice. trying to figure out how I can put left field, yeah. And here's the thing. I'm saying that trying not to sound, you know, hypocritical, because a lot of my POTEMPO will potentially feel like they're coming from left field. But here's the thing. Me establishing in this first game, well, we know it's not called Pokemon. So at the end of the day, as long as it's not Pokemon, I get to make my own rules. So yeah, I do have some POTEMPO where, you know, they start off as something and they might evolve into something else. I love that aspect from Digimon. And it's fine for Digimon to have that, because Digimon, oh, you know what I can do? I can give this guy like elephant. I'm gonna give him elephant claws. Not claws. What am I talking about? Nails? What do you call this, chat? Because he's supposed to be like an elephant hybrid. How will I... You know what? Maybe what I can do is I'll make the elephant trunk come upwards like this. That's kind of different. That looks dumb. Let's put it... I mean, he may not... It could be a smaller... I do... You know what? I do like something like that for the first two. Hooves! Is it hooves? No, hooves belong on horses, yeah? Hooves come on are horses. Elephants don't... What do elephants... Nails? Chat, help me out here. I'm gonna give him... I don't want him to be like jeering. This looks so insane, chat. I don't know if I like the face. But you know what? They do have... They do have the round kind of faces. No, you know what? I'll just do it like this. Ooh. My brother in Christ, it's hooves. Elephants have toenails, right? Just nail? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because hooves are entire bits that go around. Is it keratin? Elephants have nails. They don't have digits, but it's like an entire... It looks like a... It's called elephant's feet. And it kind of makes sense that these guys have elephant feet. They have like such wide snouts and like such big bodies, they probably need to stay as stable as possible. You know? Oh, here we go. It's coming together. I'm using Google Canvas. Okay. I like this guy. What do you guys think? Definitely more interesting than the dolphin. Do I want to maybe make the dolphin the rainbow fish from Hindu mythology? I'm trying to think if he even needs... like, tusks, you know? The Groot slang also have tusks, so... Let me see how... Elephant tusks and trunks. I want to see how they kind of fold. Okay. Because if I'm having it kind of fold like an elephant tusk, because it's not like a true one, you know? You can add these lines here. There are these folds, so maybe... Ooh, you know what? Oh, wait, this could be cool. See, because I'm looking at this design, and I'm like... I feel like he doesn't need tusks. You know? If anything, this part could represent tusks, like in an Oni kind of way, because many Asiatic arts do incorporate. So maybe something like that. Yeah, actually I quite like that. Do I give him ears? Digging this guy for sure. Personally, always in favor of Tusk, man. I'm looking up some Amazonian myth. Nothing interesting showing up for the dolphin. Yeah, and like I said, it's okay if hey, as long as you're working with all you got, that's the most important thing. So keep that up, okay? I will say, it doesn't need to be dolphin mythos. Like, I have no qualms of evolving a fish mythology into a dolphin. Like, that to me is as cool as anything else. You know? The theme of aquatic, you know, like, as long as that's still there, that's what's important. Hand check, thank you. Yeah, definitely a hand check, huh? 2 hours and 8 minutes. It's 8:40 my time. I might call it in 20 minutes if I can kind of get something going. I do want to revisit the dolphin before I close stream. Yeah, if you... Oh, you know what, chat? Maybe you guys can find me Polynesian or... I mean, again, it could be from anywhere. Any kind of... And also, I want the mythology to kind of ring true to the stage I'm looking at. So, for example, Makara was a mount, right? Meaning it was subservient to a god. I could have made them a third stage, but I'm like, you're subservient to a god. I think you would make a fine 2 stage where I can, have the Gharial crocodile be like the main kind of focus, right? I think the same thing is true for mythologies where, maybe if there's like a fish trickster spirit or something, I'm wondering, should I open the mouth up? I think I might, actually. And once I put colors, it'll also really help. So maybe the under half can have like this swirly kind of thing, huh? Maybe it swirls that way. It doesn't have to be a true elephant snout, it just needs to... I mean, it already looks pretty insane. You have mounts in POTEMPO, this guy could be the water mount. I'm not planning on making creatures mounts because that's a lot to figure out. I'll have like vehicles is kind of the direction I think I want to go. That you could customize and whatnot. That just makes it easier for like all terrain. Because again, I don't want to promise a game or features or this or that. And like, even if we are chatting pie in the high sky stuff, and I don't want to set any kind of expectations, right? It took Pokemon how many years to get kind of like mounts in the game, and they're like this giant studio, one of the world's biggest. I'm just one guy making like designs first and foremost, right? I think the trunks rolling down could work way better. I think so too. It kind of reminds me of like this one ancient shark too. Although I don't know if it was curling upwards or down. Will POTEMPO have rare defined? Yeah, as of right now, I'm thinking I might call them either off tempo or off beat, just to fit with like the music kind of motif. You know? You know what? I wonder. Oh no, I think the Groot slang would look more like. It was looking pretty sick. Offbeat is very cute. Yeah, I like it a lot. Offbeat. I'm going offbeat hunting. I don't know if it has. Shiny hunting is so classic, you know? And that's the thing. Like, quite often I think about, like, what should I change? What shouldn't I change? Like, for example, I don't have formal types. So, to me, I like wonder if it's worth. You know what? I'm gonna bring his head down lower. And the Gharials do have eyes that are at the top. So I don't want to do something. Ooh, no. Hey, yo, what that tongue do? Danny! I'm spraying you with a water bottle. Remind me of what happened. I left for 5 seconds. I'm not sure what happened. Remind me earlier, I think attunement having tune and it's cute. I think if you're tuning or conducting. Ooh, conducting is cute as well. That's not a tongue. It's the under half of this Gharial's mouth. It's a nice pose, actually. It's a little muddy right around here. That's how it tastes your flesh. That's true. Oh yeah, what if that's like kind of like a feeler? And then or maybe that's like an appendage it sticks into. Well, you know what? I don't have to think of a scientific way. Oh, you know what? I'll have the bone stick out like that for the tusks. That seems better. You can have small ears like that maybe, right? Does he need ears? Or this shape could look vaguely ear-like for the face. Blink, stretch, and hydrate. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate you so much. I actually just stretched. Thank you, though. I appreciate you. Look at this guy. What do we think, Chad? Pretty cool, right? Curving that's going to be a bitch and a half to figure out how that works, but they're all good. Let's get some color on this guy. So here's his other arm here. And it's a little fire though. Garl goatee. Oh, it's his goatee. Yeah, you're right, Danny. It's his goatee. But his teeth. He's got a lot of teeth. Alright, I'm thinking, chat, honestly, I want to do blue, but blue we already have for alligator, which is a pain. I really think blue would look good. Honestly, a deep green, like, it's basic, but I think that'd be nice too. You know, we don't have a deep green Pokemon, right? As far as, because they were being different. So I can probably get away with getting like, this is what I'll do. I think I want the top part This is the next boss for Donkey Kong. I'm gonna take like an orange, like that, like a yellow orange, and do that. And then I'm gonna do like a darker grayish black for this. You know what? India is green and orange. So if this is the Indian Gharial, get a nice orange. Oh, that looks nice. He drinks Gatorade. But jokes aside, I think it looks, I like the colors quite a bit. And then we gotta give him yellow eyes, right? Or see, so something I'm still figuring out, for example, many designs, right? The spirits is in the eyes. So if I do like this, he'll feel like an animal. If I do white and then add like yellow like this, he'll feel a little more different, you know? In the second pass for this design, he will certainly, I think, feel more Gharial, but like, that's pretty dang cool. Wait, favorite color? Gatorade, Arctic Frost, Crocodile, love this freak, hell yeah. Teal would be nice, dark blue green would be nice, hot pink. Just remember, elephant and manatees are related. Fire, that's so cool. Murky purple. Green is definitely really too basic. Like, it's entirely too basic. Oh, we gotta get the tusk color. Now, I could also see myself obviously making... You know what? I like that. I like the white with the... Let me start cycling through some colors. That kind of makes it look... This pose is cool, but yeah, the leg over there on the other side gets like a little lost, I think. You know what? I kind of want to make it like the Makara that I saw, where it only's got the... You know what? I'll make the Groot slang look a little different, but they can be counterparts for sure. So he won't have back legs. He kind of just crawls with his... massive forearms. Okay, let me see. Blue Gatorade, my fave. That's a classic. Red, since you were thinking blue, I already shouldn't be scared to go blue, even if Alligator exists. There's a lot of blues out there, though. Yeah, that's true. Regulars on this stream know that I'm absolutely mortified. And, like, this is just my, I'm taking meds and I go to therapy. But, like, this is my own anxiety. Anytime I create a design, or if anyone remotely says, like, oh, this thing you designed looks like insert any fictional character, let alone say Pokemon. And then I like think that to the umpteenth thing, where I'm like, if one person thinks it, then everyone thinks this design looks like that. And, after the Pal World stuff, I know for a fact, my designs destroy Pal Worlds, even in this early, state. Right? This is not even beta. This is like alpha designs, right? Where I'm designing for the first time I don't even know the exact rules for POTEMPO designs. And I'm still so nervous of what people think, naturally. So it is something that I'm very conscious about, and like I don't want people to be like, oh, that looks like this Pokemon or that looks like that Pokemon. And then, you know, I know that at the end of the day, my designs will speak for themselves, and that they are, you know, as far as my character design and everything, inspired by Pokemon, right? But, you know, I'm trying to make it my own thing as well. So part of me thinks like, yeah, I'd lean into it. Real ones know that you're doing your own thing, and at the end of the day, one, who cares what other people think? I do, clearly. But then two, what they say doesn't mean it has to be true, right? Like if they say something, oh, you're Bonnie, you're this, it's too much like Pokemon, it's too much like this, it's too much, you know. Basically, what I'm saying is I should learn to worry when I get there. If people say, yeah, it looks too much like Feraligatr. But I can also, I think, as an artist, be proactive and be like, yeah, let me work on a design where off rip it kind of feels like it's its own thing. Like this clearly doesn't look like any Pokemon that we have, right? So nice flavor choice except for Bond's Arctic. Nasty? You're nasty, dude. Grape. I love grape. I love grape soda. First of all, I love grape soda. Arctic Frost is amazing. The ice one, the white one. Danny, you're nasty. Grape is bottom tier. On my own stream, what is happening? Talking about grape is nasty and Arctic flavor is nasty? Yeah, be confident in your artistic eye, Jonathan. Pat, thank you for the pats. I just drink Gatorade for the electrolytes. I don't drink Gatorade, period, anymore. What's up, Ryomo? What's going on? Been lurking a while for the past hour. Garrel's looking fantastic. Thank you, thank you. Continually impressed by your shapes and personalities. Yo, have a good night. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for the advice you gave me earlier on those secret Fakemon that only a couple of people saw for the new video that's hopefully coming out this Sunday. Yeah, Pete Rioma's work. He was in the collab with Ron and Deebs. Grape is nice. Y'all are insane. Thank you, Mega Muter. Thank you. His taste buds are broken. Bruh. Bruh, ain't no way. Okay, and then yesterday we had Dingus Joe talking about putting mayonnaise on his pancakes. Or was it waffle? It's worse because waffles are delicious and deserve to be enjoyed with beautiful syrup. Strawberry watermelon is the best. Yeah, watermelon is golden. You shouldn't drink it. You don't know good flavor if it slapped you. Boy, if you ain't let Marina Auntie cook me some nice Filipino food. Please. Good night, Ryoma. Take care. Left for Bed came back to people. What did I miss? No, Zach, you can't be here. You had to be here. There's okay, you know what? No, because you might be on my side, hopefully. They're talking about they don't like grape flavor. They don't like Arctic Frost Gatorade, bro. First of all, I don't even know what that white like is supposed to be. But I know it's delicious. Alright, let's change the colors. These are a little too basic. I hate to say it, because, you know, I do like them, but it is basic. Even though I do want a classic green Gators. That's so much to ask for. You know what it is? I think it goes back to what Kay was saying, right? People want... What's the word? Interesting, like, mythical... Not mythical, but like... You can see regular Gators in real life. I gotta give people stuff they can't get in real life. You know? That's what my designs are. Picard looking epic and powerful? Hell yeah, brother. He thinks grape is a good Gatorade flavor. It is. What crimes against humanity? She says hi. Hello, Auntie. Hello, Jimmy Uncle, too. Much love to you guys. Totally understandable. It's just kind of inevitable whenever you're doing a monster collector type. People are going to make base level. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, the designs will absolutely be amazing designs. I'm not going to push out anything else than what I always put out my best work, no matter what it is, right? For the, you know, at the very least, as best as I can create in that moment. So that's why I'm doing these first passes with you guys on stream. And then after that, and ideally I also do want to work on human characters too. You know? That's like my specialty before I was doing like monster design. But this guy does look pretty damn sick. And you can see the, you know what's cool is like you can see the movement here. Maybe the babe chat, you know what it is? Maybe the babies can all be simple because that's them as spirits adapting to a real world, thus giving them a grounded level of relatability. Their true intentions, or not even intentions, but concepts are hidden by their masks, but their bodies could be cute, simple, basic. So we're like, oh, it's a potential alligator coming up. And then it's like this Makara who has only 2 legs in the front, long gharial snout, long frilled fins along its back, a mermaid tail. Yeah. Cool. All right, let's change up the colors. Let's make it fantastical, huh? Anybody get any cool concepts for what do you call it? Oh, with like any fish or aquatic stuff? He does look cool. I'm glad he looks cool. Let's mess with colors. We're also officially at 2 hours 28 minutes. It's 9 p.m. on the dot here where I live. I don't mind potentially staying and trying to sort out some sort of concept. Ew, I don't like that flip at all. Some sort of concept for the dolphin, because he needs a second layer. It could be any kind of aquatic mythology that fits for a second stage. You know, it just needs to be simple. Don't got to be anything crazy. I'm going to, I think, bump up the darkness just a little bit like that. Minimize the contrast. And now I'm going to mess around with color. See, in a very Pokemon way, if I do purple, people will be like, it's a poison type. It's like, nah, it's not a poison. Crocodile chin reminds me of what you see on certain Egyptian pharaohs. That's true. Hello, Minish Arc. Welcome in. I love the Dolphins Prevo. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you. It's a crazy take on a Shachihoko. We'll see if that's what's going to stay. I kind of like this, actually. You know what? That's kind of nice, chat. That is kind of nice, chat. See, this is basic. This one is pretty interesting. The pose definitely needs work. I'm going to, you know, elongate, I think, the back end. And probably bring out this arm, because it's kind of like tilted like this, right? I've been thinking about the dolphin in the background. What I'm working with is the Hydra long, like kind of like a long note. The thing is, Hydra, see, it wouldn't fit for a second stage. I do have a Hydra planned for a third stage. So Hydra, because it's such an epic creature, deserves to be a third stage combined with a dragon or something. Okay, I think this is a good place to leave off for the Gharial. Actually, you know what? Let me try giving him the... I want to try it with the... Ooh, hold on. I like the orange along the back, too. That might be... But otherwise, it'd be more yellow here. Honestly, the muted green, that's kind of nice. Thank you, Jelly. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, you know what? I'll keep this... Oh, you know what? There's one thing I'll change. This yellow. Ooh, what if maybe those come here? They split. You know? Yeah, that's kind of fire, chat. What do you think? Where the spines kind of come in as like these... I don't know how that works exactly, but that's a problem for future Bonnie to figure out. Fire. They can like kind of like fuse into one sail that goes along. I do want the head to be flat with the eyes raised. And, you know, I love doing like little sheen kind of things like this. Cool. He's my friend. Just known as a fish in the croc statue's mouth. Yeah, that's a goat, actually. Here, let me show you. Actually a goat. You can see the hooves here. The horn. There's a mouse on the back. Mouse is also seen as a symbol a lot in Hinduism. Specifically, he's kind of seen paired with Ganesha. Since this is an elephant, Ganesha is based off an elephant. I'm sure there's a connection there. This thing also has got ram horns, this version. Like if you're traveling through a gator-infested swamp wall, you can see the gators in light reflecting the murky bodies. Yeah, I guess that's true. That is true. Love that bright green, so I kind of want to make it the shiny, so people can finally have like a basic green. I'm gonna close all that. So this is the Wanaguchi that evolves into the Makara. This is the Shachihoko, which I think could still have some buffs design-wise. It's a tiger carp. But again, it's not like I'm making one-to-one versions of every creature. It's like the Bonny John version. Glad I got a comment out of the blue saying they like it, so that means I'm doing something right. Now, I love him. Thank you. Thank you, Mod. Alright, so we'll do that. This Potempo head is sideways. Usually the opening's at the top. I think I also want to... One of my favorite things is like relining. Getting like the proportions, the angle, all that stuff. It only happens when you step away from the piece. Okay. Dolphin. It's 9:07. I'm gonna try and call it a night at 9:30, which is 23 minutes away. Okay, so... Oh, you know what? If I put the eye right here, kind of a fun nod to the eye being like simple there. You know? What a strange looking fish he is. I guess I'll split. Okay, so how do we make this guy more interesting? I'm going to look up fish mythos because dolphin mythos is very rare, apparently. I can't find anything that would pair well with the dolphin. I've looked at Brazilian, Colombian, Bolivian, even went back to India, nothing. I think carrying the whiskers up would add a ton. I mean, carrying up. Like pushing, I was thinking about sliding it forward if that's what you mean. Got him head on side's fun. Cool, cool, thank you. Yeah. I'm trying to see if I can add extra layers to this dolphin. Because it is understandably just a dolphin. Which again, I don't hate. But you know, I'm getting like Waylord vibes. Because Waylord's also very simple. But at least he can fly. Carrying the whiskers to the evolution. Oh, I see. Maybe give the dolphin a beard. That was... Chat, how did that happen? How did all of a sudden everybody wanted a beard on the dolphin? I think it needs to be up. Cool. This snout of whatever fish is under here might be able to breathe as far as the silhouette, huh? Oh, you know what? Why not just make it orange? Because it don't gotta be... It could look like a tiger's... Because that's the whole point of the shachioko. Is that it's a tiger carp. So why don't I really lean into the carp stuff? It's like a fish. It's got... Oh, you know, tiger's got whiskers, right? And carp's got whiskers, so... Oh, you know what? Single tooth. See how simple, like, you move one pair of whiskers. Look how much this area gets freed up. Not too shabby, chat. I think it's cute. A starfish, brah. It's not no Ariel. It's not no Ariel. Alright, cool. So that looks a lot better, don't you think? We really are burnt. I'm not burnt out. I'm not burnt. I'm gonna do... Okay, let me do some research. I'm gonna look up fish mythology. Ugh. We're almost there, chat. 20 minutes to go. And if it's simple, it's simple. Someone's gonna look at this dolphin and say, it's beautiful. That'll be my... what do you call it? Opus something or another. Alright, fish myth. Look. Kelp whiskers on the dolphin, but see, there's no... I don't say no reason to put it on. It's true that the first guy has cat whiskers, but the kelp, it replaces it, sure. But like, what does it mean to the design, right? It just basically... Magnum opus, thank you. Fish and mythology. Fish and culture. Okay, here we go. There's a lot of stuff here. Nope, Zach, nope. Legendary fish. Fish deities, merfolk. Abaya. Abaya is a huge magical eel in Melanesian mythology. Ooh. Eel dolphin chat? According to Melanesian mythology, the abaya is a type of large eel which dwells at the bottom of freshwater lakes in the Fiji, Solomon, and Vanuatu Islands. Cool. Beast is said to consider all creatures in the lake its children and protect them furiously against anyone who would harm or disturb them. Hold on. This is perfect because, like I said, the Ganges River dolphin, which is found in Mother Ganges, the river, is also a mother. So it's able to protect its children. Let's go. It's the very first thing I searched. Abaya. Let's go. Let me look at a few other things. Mazomba is a giant fish in the mythology of the Chaga people of Tanzania. It is also the name of a crater. There's nothing else about it. Okay, Minhocao, creature from Brazilian folklore. Claimed to be a large fish or resemble a worm up to 165 feet. It could drag horses and horned cattle under the water. Oh, it's like an earthworm type of thing. Ooh, maybe that could be something that I use for... No, I'll use that for the other. I'm gonna do abaya. Eel would be sick? Hell yeah. Let's do eel. Alright, so we're gonna do... And you know what? A lot of times, making things chimeras make them interesting, right? Like, Rhydon isn't particularly interesting. It's just a rhino that stands up, but it feels like a kaiju. Eel dolphin with a beard, no beard. I would say, ooh, so that kelp idea from before, maybe the way that the eel kind of, the body looks like kelp potentially. But I don't think kelp is necessary. Kelp I have with my kelpie. Alright, so I'm gonna do the abaya. And then, yeah, we'll have like an interesting concept here. And at the end of the day, a lot of my favorite Pokemon are creatures who, they basically have an amalgamation of concepts, right? So, to me, this being an amalgamation of several things, I think that's the best way to go. Creates interest, right? By making it fantastical, which is how a lot of, I mean, mythological beasts are chimeric in nature, right? So, okay, what are some unique eels? So, unique eels. Because I do want to base them off of real-world eels because, you know, that's nature. The ribbon eel could be a really cool one. And I base it off the abaya. Ooh. Yeah, it might be the ribbon eel. I don't think we have one in Pokemon anywhere, right? I mean, I know we have an eel, electric line. Wolf eel? Let me look at the wolf eel. Oh, it's kind of ugly. It's got some beautiful spots, but there's nothing inherently super unique about its design that I think I can really take in. It's got a face only a mother could love, chat. Here, I'll show you. He's kind of cute in an ugly way. He's kind of adorable. He looks like a blobfish there. Oh, here's another derpy one. Wolf eel. Not any games on your phone. And then, because it has to also fit the dolphin, and I think a dolphin is a beautiful creature. I think ribbon eel is nice. Moray eel is two. He's doing his best. Two moray eels. That's a moray. Does it have two pair of jaws? Oh, this one's so cute. Purple spaghetti eel? There's no way it's called that, is it? Moray eels have beautiful patterns. So since I'm making the abaya the base, purple spaghetti eel. Oh, I mean, it looks nice, but it's not super interesting. All right, I'm gonna do. Oh, here's polka dot eel, which is just dotted. Which, you know, I could add. You know, the dragon eel. Actually, dragon eel. I should put. Ooh, chat. Chat. This looks so tight. Oh, wait a second. That looks like it fits the previous Evo kind of well. So maybe it could be part dragon eel. The way, again, I don't want to make it too crazy, but I'm gonna have a ribbon eel for the back. Is this going to be... No, the Hindu crocodile monster is this guy right here. Came out pretty cool. I'm going to extend the body like to a croc's length. But yeah, the second pass will look really dope. Okay, let me do... Honestly, I guess making it the ribbon eel. Damn, then again, look, it's the second stage. It doesn't need to look insane, you know? Like, simplicity is not the worst thing. Let me see how I'm gonna do this. Ribbon eel. So this is the abaya. Ribbon eel is beautiful. Maybe its mouth needs to be open. Oh, maybe pink, orange. Because yeah, then maybe, you know what? I'll save this for that one dragon yokai who's like a eel dragon in a pearl. That would be better. And I could still have it be... Okay, let's try this. I really don't mind it having simple eyes, just like the real... Doesn't make it look more terrifying, doesn't it? Looks like it's going meh. Maybe a coral pink. That's true too. Coral pink would be beautiful. Dolphins should look simple and peaceful. Oh, maybe a dolphin's not a fitting creature for a monster tamer. It could look out of place, maybe. Maybe that's the issue. Cleaner shrimp which pick at food stuck in the eels. I have heard of that. It's pretty cool. Like, seems like in the animal kingdom there's plenty of creatures that do stuff like that. Huh? Okay. I'm gonna add the ribbony part. Chat, you know what it is? It might be that maybe I wanted to put the Ganges river dolphin because it's an Indian creature, and you know, like, I'm kind of like making this an unofficial India region. But maybe dolphins aren't really creatures you think about when you battle with, huh? So maybe we take it out of the Indian section and make it a proper eel. Like this guy. No, but I want him to... Well, so maybe in the next game he can evolve into that one dragon yokai that lives in the shell. Right? Yeah, maybe that's the issue. Dolphins don't look like they're like fighters. A shark would, right? Maybe it's the creature itself. Like, I look at Aldino or Indeedee and I feel bad whenever I look at them because I'm like, why are they fighting? They don't look like they belong to fight, right? Now I like the dolphin. Me too, but because if it were Pokemon, I really could just slap a Sithar kind of thing here and I'd be done. You know? No disrespect to Pokemon. But like, that would be like the added connection. Because now it just feels like Oh, I just chose the eel as the inspiration. I'm like, this is my take on an abaya, but it doesn't feel inspired. You know? Dolphin gang is up and attack sharks. They're very deadly. Kind of feel like you're losing sight of your original Mother Ganges. Yeah, but that's because I'm trying. Like, the thing is, like, Mother Ganges is just the inspiration point, or rather, because it's supposed to be a two-stage design, so it doesn't need a lot of. I know they're menaces, but here's the thing: public reception of them is that they're not. They don't know that, so it's just hard to sell it. I mean, I could sell it as, and you know, again, either way, I'm not married to any concept. It's silly to in a conceptual world building thing, you know. I mean, this is kind of interesting with this bigger eye, like eel eyes. I'm saying this is my take on the abaya, maybe, but it's not. It's combining the Indian River. So it might have to be Indian mythology, so that way it doesn't feel too forced, huh? Let's look up Indian fish mythology. Or maybe there's another creature. Matsya. Oh, this could work. The fish avatar of the Hindu god Vishnu. Chat, you're slacking. You didn't find Matsya. The fish avatar of the Hindu god Vishnu. Often described as the first of Vishnu's 10 primary avatars. Described to have rescued the first man, Manu, from a great deluge. Depicted as a giant fish, often gold in color, anthropomorphically with the torso of Vishnu connected to the rear half of a fish. So it's basically a mermaid. You can't tie. Yeah, it's true. Bondman never gives up. Give him angry brows and he'll look ready. Matsya, Central India. Vedic origins. It's a larger fish. In the water is a tiny fish. The fish states it's feared of being swallowed by a larger fish. It grows freely and he becomes as big as a ocean. Law of fishes, law of the jungle. Small and weak would be devoured by the big and strong. Needs the dharmic protection. I mean, Matsya is basically a merman. Oh wait, a golden horned fish pulling the boat with Manu and its 7 sages. Matsya's horn is tied to the boat with the serpent, who is depicted behind Matsya as a symbolic support. Okay, you know what? Yeah, we can absolutely take. Oh my god, is that Makara in the background? Look at these elephant gator thingies. They do get really big. And you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make my river dolphin gold. And I'm going to give it a horn. Who cares? Let's make it fantastical. And wait, the serpentine thing works if it's... I'm going to have the serpent side connected. So it'll be like a dolphin snake. Fuck it. It's crazy, but it's interesting. So let me do... Alright, chat, we're so back. We're all the way back, bro. We never left. Okay. This is now... So Matsya will be the focus. No longer is it Abaya or Abaya. I'll put Abaya on the side. River Narwhal, essentially, right? Its horn kind of comes out like this. So they tied the boat to his horn. Yeah, why not? It's just a generic fish. I'm not making it entirely accurate, sure. That's the whole point of mythology. Like, POTEMPO is basically telephone, except I'm making the mythology. I like this gold right here. It's already crazy looking, huh? You know what? Maybe I could just give it a narwhal horn instead. Rather than that like weird kind of horn I was trying to copy. Because it could still be a dolphin. Game Freak design Gen 1. Yeah, exactly, right? That's exactly right. Give him a horn. Exactly. Imagine I gave him hands? Wait, you know what? I kind of don't hate like the more extended... Because you know what? Maybe you could have semi-humanoid like fin hands as a nod to Matsya being like the Vishnu avatar. I mean, it's certainly a lot more crazier than I ever expected.
Platform that helps companies get more done and save more time. Teams can stay connected, track updates, and
chat, you know what?
Asana,
The latter half is more like a snake, right? I mean, he doesn't need to have... He's like a dolphin snake. So maybe he doesn't even need fins. And I'm trying to make this work for y'all because y'all seem to like the dolphin, so... Like Lugia, maybe, right? Yeah, like Lugia has those. The dots were really cute. I love the eerie fish eyes. Yeah, I don't know if it fits the vibe anymore. I do love the simple eyes. We'll keep messing around, right? Hello, Copy. Welcome in. Most end of the day? Alright, well, hope you had a nice day. I'm going to be calling... Oh, crap. It's already 9:31 and almost exactly 3 hours. I mean, I'm going to call it very soon, but I'm glad to at least welcome you into the chat. Alright. Matsya the dolphin, huh? Unless, imagine I made it... What if I... This is Matsya. What if the horn of this fish was its dolphin snout, is its quote-unquote horn? That's kind of insane. And maybe that is maybe one of the most insane things I've ever done. Honestly? A second mouth alluding to the fact that in the story, and I gotta read it more. And it'll be more like a traditional fish here. It doesn't have to be a regular dolphin. It could just be some sort of crazy fish, and I just say it's inspired by the Ganges River dolphin. A fish is basically a snake underwater, so it looking like an eel is coincidentally kind of cool. Let them cook? Maybe, right? Maybe make the pink gold so it keeps the pink while staying gold? Maybe, right? I did like that pink. Alright, let him cook. Matsuya was a golden fish in that form. Now wait a damn minute. What are we thinking? Is this too mental? He could look crazy. Don't eat the dolphin eel. A lot of people would think it's upside down though. I think that's fine. I think that makes it an even more interesting design, no? This is insane. Bonny John's version of Matsuya. Actually, you know what? Let's keep it simple. Maybe it doesn't, you know what? Maybe it don't need fins. It's an eel, right? I don't know, chat. I kind of like this, as mental as this is. In a game of POTEMPO, you know, like mythological telephone, I just translated the golden fish avatar of Matsuya by doing a bunch of crazy kind of things, right? This is so insane that I kind of like it. It's the weirdest dolphin you've ever seen. I mean, maybe given an anglerfish. Tricks prey by deceiving it's upside down, light with disorient. This is whack, but I'm here for it. Maybe it doesn't need the horn. Maybe it just needs to be a gold serpentine. I can take from the Matsuya myth that it was a golden fish. Oh wait, you know what? I could just do it. It doesn't need like a horn, you know? Right? Like, this already looks a lot more interesting than the other. Hold on. It doesn't need to have the golden horn. Look, that already looks a lot more interesting. And look, it's still based off of Matsuya, my take on Matsuya. It's still like this river eel, the golden coloring. I'll give him the fins. And look, at the end of the day, I'm going to stand by the fact that I think simplicity still works. You know, it's the most important thing is in the ecosystem, it represents a second stage kind of creature. There's at least a layer here. I can be like, it's gold because Matsuya, right? Ooh, you know what? Maybe I'll make him looking like a little smug. At least he has like a little more personality too now, right? And I think, you know what? The pink anyway felt like too much like Brazilian dolphin. Ooh, that sinister kind of eye really changes things, huh, chat? Because this is like saying like, oh, you think sharks are bad. Wait, you haven't, you know, really met me yet. Rose gold works, yeah, much better. Would make it unique. Give it a small horn. No, if I give it a small horn, it'll feel like, what's the point? Like in many Gen 1 Pokemon had small horns, and it's like a horn's purpose is to you know, I think anglerfish thing. But see, the anglerfish thing would feel really tacked on, right? Like nothing about the connection to Matsya. And I'd rather do that for a mythology or concept that fits even better. You know? Alright. Let's leave it for now. This is certainly, I think, at least more interesting than, say, you know, what I had before, which was literally just a pink dolphin, which was never going to stay as a pink dolphin. This thing wants to commit crimes. Yeah, I guess so. And it doesn't, again, doesn't have to represent Mother Ganges and all this thing I was saying, but I was basically giving us ideas that, you know, could be used, right? But yes, good night. I'm going to start calling it. Oh, you know what? One thing that I do every stream at the end is I more or less put these on my size charts, because that's also important to figure out design, right? Proportions, right? So obviously these aren't all the POTEMPO. I'll probably do a better or a more longer run of putting these guys down here to figure out sizes. So let's go ahead and figure out sizes. So I really like the first forms always being like a little bigger than Pokemon. It just gives them more impact. I think I like... Oh yeah, because they're spirits, I love that I can just say they hover and fly in the real world. Right? This guy naturally... Honestly... Yeah, I'm gonna make this guy actually just a touch small. That's good. Now, Makara, I'm going to... Maybe, but here's the thing. Again, you can never be married to a design early, right? Because you never know how things are going to change. And again, my POTEMPO aren't one-to-one translations of mythologies and concepts. If I could make it work, the more that chat kept saying, oh, dolphins are evil, dolphins are this, dolphins are that. Even if Matsya is like, you know, Vishnu is a good god, you know? Maybe I can still give my take on, it's not the one-to-one avatar of Vishnu, right? It's inspired by those things, so don't have to be, right? I love the size range for the... Yeah, I agree. Like, I like giving... Even, like, these guys are, like, a decent size, you know? Like, more than a couple feet tall. It just, I feel like, gives these creatures a lot more impact. I think something that Pokemon isn't very good at is their sizing is very inconsistent. Which is okay, because animals come in all sorts of shapes and sizes and stuff. But for example, like, not that I'm saying this is my version of Onyx, but like Onyx is like entirely way too big for a single stage Pokemon at the time. There's something fun about that, don't get me wrong, but I want to be able to off rip just make things feel grand is like the important thing. That the sizes have impact and they feel like they could have that they take up space in the world, that if you see one in front of you, like, you're in awe, right? And they still feel fantastical without, like, being too realistic, right? Like, a Dune-inspired worm doesn't have to be a massive Dune worm. Nor does it have to be... I mean, you could have fun with it and make it a tiny worm, but, like, this feels like a very dangerous and cool size, and you'd still be scared of this worm, right? But yeah, stream's ending. We're 3 hours in. It's almost 10 o'clock my time. Love that Gyarados so much. Gyarados is so cool. Thank you, thank you. The dollfish can be larger than that. It looks like just because most mythological fish. But as I was just saying, Rui, it's not a true mythological fish, right? It's just one fish who, rather, just picture them to be, again, as like any second stage form in Pokemon. they would exist in the world like regular dolphins, right? It's my world version of dolphins. Same with this guy. Even if the gharial is based on Makara, it's not a legendary creature. It's only a second stage, right? You need to have these second stages fill up the world, right? Like the Chimera is like a legendary beast, so you'll see far less of them, right? But you know, you would see these rhinos, the Carcadon, right? You could see them grazing and moving along. They're 2-stage. Maybe these guys are running around. You need to have, with 150 creatures, they all can't be 3 stages and really awesome and badass and this and that. You can still have cool, fun, interesting 2 stages like this. Imagine these guys blobbing around, right? They really help to balance out the world as far as diversity. I love the Crazy River Dolphin Eel. It went on a crazy journey. Me too. I like it as well. I think it'll definitely be better as I keep pushing. See y'all later. Perfect sizes. Guys, it's time for me to call it quits for the night. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. What a crazy journey. I added Shachihoko as the base for the first form. Wanaguchi for the bottom one. Which again, I think I have too many Japanese inspired ones, but here we have Matsuya and Makara, which is really nice because they're both M's and they both have a similar look with their long extended noses, or snouts I should say. So it's really seemed to work out. But awesome, yeah, the diversity of animals continues. Add a dolphin and a croc to the roster. Don't forget to like the vid. Thank you so much, Kay. Lastly, if the dolphin's beak is pointy, it can work for the horn, which is why I tried to add the horn there for the concept. But yeah, it's something I'll have to figure out in the future if that's something I want to do. But cool, guys, I may or may not be on for tomorrow. I'll be going out in the morning, and I'm not sure what time I'll be home. If I do come home and I'm not exhausted, maybe I'll get on for a short stream, but keep your eyes peeled. Hopefully I can see you. If not, I'll see you for the next one. Yes, lots of love to you all. Thank you so much for everything. Leave a like, comment on the VOD after if you want, but otherwise, have a wonderful night or a day wherever you are.